On in the room. Come on in the room. Bucks lose it tonight. Bucks lose it tonight. Indiana is up 3-1 in the series. 129-103. Probably the worst. Probably the worst game in the entire series for Milwaukee Bucks tonight. It just unraveled, folks. Absolutely unraveled. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Doc's no doctor of mine. Uh, but come on in the room. We are live. Cream City crossover group transfer.
Chris King.
Justin.
Man. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about it. I'll say this by the end of the show. We're not gonna talk ourselves into it. Well, I don't know if you. I'm not gonna be able to talk myself into any optimism tonight. I mean, there's no way. There is none. Let's just be honest. There is none. There's nothing to be hopeful for. You feel. You know what? You know what I feel. No, that's bad. That's bad. Let me not say that. I'll say it a different way. I feel this is how I imagine people who have been in like a big car wreck or something like that, and then they ended up. It's still gonna sound bad, however I try to put it. You end up as a quadriplegic. You can't eat, can't do nothing. Your brain, there's nothing left, and you would have you wake up after the coma, and it's like, damn, I'm still here. I can't do nothing no more. You're waiting to be put out of your misery. That's what it feels like for the Milwaukee Bucks right now. You're waiting to be put out of your misery. Somebody pull the plug. Because this feels like it's over. 129-103 Bucks lose. Come on in the room if you join us on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. Give me your thoughts. If you're on the YouTube, get at us there, obviously, as well. But I mean, it doesn't get much worse than what we saw tonight. It just doesn't. Dan DeChi Boxing says depression. Zuli says defeated. Crypto Parker says I'm letting go. If Doc is a doctor, I'm Giannis. Al Farouk says pick up Coach Malone. Eric L, zero optimism. Pack it up. Pray for the future. Harry Potter's in here. I know he's gonna talk a lot tonight. Yeah, Dan, exactly. You'd rather be dead. You'd rather be dead because that's how this looks tonight. 129-103. Let's do a recap of the box score, and it's bad. I mean, it is as bad as bad gets. 28, 15, and 6 for Giannis. I wish he could have got to 30 because I want to leave here with something, but Giannis couldn't get his 30 tonight. 2 turnovers. Jesus Christ. Kuz with 3 points, 1 assist, 1 of 6 shooting, 0 for 1, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 16 minutes of action. Not good. Not good enough. None of that. None of it. None of it was good enough. Brook Lopez, 15 minutes action, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Start the game. I mean, Brook Lopez start the game out. I mean, just every point you could give up. Again, and not that it would matter. Because like at this point, I'm going to sit here and say it would not have mattered. It would not have mattered if the people, we got to start this guy, and you start this guy, and you start him. It did. Listen, they at one point, Doc Rivers did have in the optimal line. They got their ass whooped too. Every group that Doc put out there. So I'm almost at the point where it's like, miss me with the starting line. It really didn't matter, man. We were getting our ass whooped. There was a group out there at the end of the third, or was at the start, somewhere in the fourth quarter. I mean, the group that is supposed to be the defensive group, I believe it was KPJ, AJ Green, Gary, Giannis, and Bobby, whatever that group was. It didn't matter what group was in. It was open threes, corner three, 3 above the break, 3 on the side. Didn't matter. Get 3 corner, but whatever kind of 3 you wanted, they had it. They got it. Harry Potter, Pacers, at this point, you thought they are. They're a better basketball team. You look, I mean, I'm just saying, at some point I have to go on what I see. So Brook Lopez was ass, but you could have put Jericho Sims in. It didn't matter. Gary Trent, 6 points tonight. He couldn't duplicate what he did. 2 of 6 and 2 of 5 from 3. A minus 25. Kevin Porter Jr. was probably your bright spot offensively outside of Giannis, 23, 5, and 6. 2 steals, 9 of 17, 5 and 7 from 3. He looked really good offensively, because I say nobody looked good defensively. Nobody. But offensively, Kevin Porter Jr. looked good. And again, so I mean, you're gonna go game because you ain't no chump. You're gonna go to game 5 and go to Indiana and see if you can win it. But I mean, tonight was just a wrap. Bobby Porter's 14 and 3 tonight. 3 rebounds from Bobby Porter's. Get out of here, man. 3 rebounds from Bobby Porter's, man. You're not serious. We're not. It's not serious basketball. That's not serious. That's not unserious. AJ Green. Wait, 25 games. You reading the wrong pill bottles to give me 3 rebounds in game 4 in a 2-1 series, and a bunch of claps on the mic and telling everybody we ain't out of it. We out of it. AJ Green 9 points, 3 assists, 3 of 5. And AJ Green again. He's got to play more. TJ McConnell running right by him. I'm like, damn. I'm looking at white on white crime. I mean, it ran right by him, dog. Right by him. He did the same thing to Kevin Porter Jr. though. Don't worry. He was equal opportunity hater. TJ McConnell kicked our ass today. TJ McConnell was damn near. I mean, what did TJ McConnell feel? I would get to his point. TJ McConnell, but no, damn. Hallie was 17 and 15. Damn, what the Hallie? TJ McConnell's, running by guys, dog. Running by guys, man. Torrey Prince, he got 15 minutes tonight. Nothing. 1 rebound, 1 assist. Rollins got in. He didn't know how to dribble. He come in the game, forgot how to dribble, get the ball took from him. He did hit a 3. Doc was out of ideas doing Pat Connaughton, and that's not even getting to Dame Lillard, who tears his Achilles to start the game. We'll talk. I'm not going to start on Damian Lillard. We're going to have to talk about him separately. So I'm not going to mention Dame. The only thing I will say about Dame is, again, prayers up to the brother. It looked bad when it happened. You could tell it was a torn Achilles. That dork, y'all probably don't know, the Van Fay ass from Brew Hoops. This is what we're calling people out. You said we call people. Van Fay ass from Brew Hoops. He's an idiot. We can't speculate. Don't be a Twitter doctor. Shut up, fool. I got eyes. Man, calf pop. Your calf pop is a torn Achilles. Have you not watched basketball? Have you watched any sport in your life before? You got to be a doctor to know when I'm looking at a day. We got 8K, whatever the hell K. We got all HD TV at this point. Everybody saw my man. You told pop, snap, like that. Done. He's cooked. So again, prayers up to Damian Lillard. I will say, man, glad he came out and gave the effort. Glad that he got on the floor. He was never 100%. I don't think he was close to 100%. I don't even know if he was 75%. But he came out there. He did what he could do. On a bad calf. Bucks are just cursed, man. I mean, it just sucks what it did. But again, we'll talk about Damian Lillard and the ramifications of that separately. I mean, we'll talk about this show, but I don't. We'll get through this before that. Then the Pacers. I mean, 8 guys, double figures, man. Where do you want to go? 14 and 5 from Neesmith. Pascal didn't have to score. 12 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. Miles Turner absolutely cooked us. 23, 5, and 3. Nembhard, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Halliburton, 17, 15, and 8. Jesus. Walker, 12 points. Your boy, Obi Toppin, 13. And TJ McConnell, 15 and 6 assists. Ben Shepherd gave you 3 points, too. Yeah, man. I mean, that's it. And Bunny Poker says you should have never traded Holiday. No, again, no, I'm not. I'm not getting into any of that. We can talk about that. First, it was another discussion, but I'm not talking about the trade. Again, it was a good trade. Didn't work out. That's the trade you make. The same thing with and I'm not gonna get into this right now either. But same thing, Chris. The Kyle Kuzma trade has not worked out. Hasn't worked out. But you just got your ass whooped. There's no way you watched this game 129-103 and said, man, Chris Middleton would have changed the damn. Woo! Chris would have changed. No, it's not happening. He was not. He's not stopping giving up 100 points in 3 quarters. So however you feel about Kyle Kuzma, how he played, he was ass tonight. And I did think he got fouled on at least 2 of those drives, but that's neither here nor there. You can't stay down. You can't stay down. Get up, man. I thought Kuzma was. He had piss poor effort. Piss poor effort from him. Piss poor. The only person Giannis was the only person who gave a damn. And Giannis was terrible in the first half too. I mean, there's no point. You don't have to break this thing down analytically, anything. It was the Pacers went out running gun, and they got every single shot they wanted for 4 straight quarters. That's what this was. This was belt to ass. The rest of hold on. I just want to look real quick. The rest of the playoff games today. The Knicks won by 1 over the Pistons, which could have been a foul at the end. The Timberwolves won by 3 over the Lakers. Controversial fouls there. Boston and Orlando were on the ropes. All of those series were 2-1. This is my point. All of those series were 2-1. All 3 of those teams that lost today gave effort, and they were in the game. The Boston Celtics are so much better than the Magic. They had guys out tonight, but the Magic gave a damn and came to play. The Lakers are playing without anybody over 6'8". They came out and gave effort and played. And the Pistons are outmatched by the New York Knickerbockers. They came out and gave an effort tonight at home, down 2-1. The only team out of 4 games. We should have been on ESPNU. That's what we should have been. That's what we deserve to be on ESPNU with the performance we had tonight. Anyway, it was pathetic. I don't have anything else for it, man. It was pathetic. It was terrible. That's what I saw. Chris, what you say?
Yeah, I'm just kind of blue right now. This just kind of sucks. This is like, we probably, if we lose this series, that's 2 years in a row to these Pacers, and 2 years in a row where our podcast is getting ended by the Pacers. It's just like, man, it's tough. I see a lot of KPJ hate, and I know he didn't have the best 3 games to start this series, but man, that was a guy who gave a damn, at least tonight. That was a guy who fought for every rebound. That was a guy who saw that nobody else had it going, and he tried to get his own shot. So I don't want to see any more, we need to let KPJ walk. No, you do everything in your power to get that guy back in Milwaukee, because obviously we don't know the future of Dame. But, yeah, I mean, tonight was just terrible. Like, how do you let that team just get every single wide open look and there's no rotation? Brooke, you suck. Like, damn. TP sucks. Like, at this point, you got to call it how it is. Some of these guys on this roster suck. They suck. And they showed that tonight on full display. Doc, you suck. Doc is a bad basketball coach. He's a bad basketball coach. I don't know how you leave this game without thinking that leave this series without thinking that, he's a bad basketball coach. Like, this dude just trying everything in the book, throwing TP out there. TP made some bonehead decisions to even allow Obi Toppin to get that run out at the end. Like, it's just, this whole game was just so disheartening after the Dame injury. Everybody looked down. Nobody wanted to play hard except for Giannis and KPJ. Just, it's unfortunate that injuries and, honestly, just the skill of players. Kuzma sucked. Kuzma might suck as a basketball player. Like, it's just all that.
I don't know if there's no might about it.
Yeah,
he's terrible.
He sucks. He sucks.
I'm not
going to say he sucks. Like, I don't even really know where to go because it's not much X's and O's. Again, like we always talk about. It's really not. It's just we suck. We suck. Yeah. Like, so that's it.
Do you want to get a super chat in? William Arrange says Lopez, Kuzma, and Princess are so unplayable, it hurts to watch. I don't get why Doc kept Sims minutes so limited. He can clearly guard 1 to 5 and seems the only one to stay in front of his man. William, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But again, even those 3 guys, I don't literally without changing your entire roster. Here's the thing. Even on Prince is on a minimum contract. So am I about to sit here and just slander Taurean Prince? No, he's on a minimum for a reason. Taurean Prince is on a minimum contract. So I'm not about to sit here and be like, it is what it is. Brooke is a year 2. Again, all of it is nostalgia. All of it is nostalgia, man. All of it is. And we should have got rid of all that championship roster. That whole thing should have been gone. We were a year too late or 2 years too late in some instances on everything. On everything. Even getting Dame probably got him a year later than what we should have got than when he was in his prime. So everything we did was everything the Bucks have done since 2021 has been based on nostalgia. And the only thing they didn't do was re-sign PJ Tucker, which they should have done, and they didn't do that. But yeah, you should have been off Chris Middleton. Talk about the Chris Middleton trade. Should have did it a year ago. Not this. It should have been last year. You should have did that, or at least this summer. Brook Lopez should be on his basketball team. So all those three guys you're talking about, Prince is on a minimum. The Kuz is the value for Middleton because Middleton's ass in 2025, and then Lopez shouldn't be on the roster either. So again, I don't disagree with you at all. NYC Demon Super Chat says, "Hey man, I can't sugarcoat it. It's a wrap. God hates the Bucks. Window sadly is closed. This just sucks, man. I want the Bucks to win another one. I just can't see the direction in the future." I will say this. I don't think in NYC, you're not wrong. I don't know that I want to go future yet. Again, we got one more game. We got at least one more game in the season. So I don't want to get to that and talk about off-season stuff. Like I really don't want to go there just yet. There's another show for that, at least another two. We'll do a wrap-up show. There's more time for that. It's not today. Not at least in the full sense. But again, you're not wrong either to think that this is over and to think the window is closed and to think to figure out how you go from here. And again, the biggest issue is that Damian Lillard does suffer not just a season injury. This could be a career ender. But again, who's letting go of $58 million? I ain't stopping my career. Oh yeah, I'm about to rehab, guys. See y'all next year rehabbing because he's not leaving. So you're basically stuck. That's talking about direction. You're stuck. But anyway, that's super chats. Appreciate the super chats, Justin. What you got?
All right, man. Let's go to what Doc said. He said tomorrow morning there will be an MRI for Dame. It's a lower leg injury and it's not promising. Doc said he went out to help him because he knew what it was. He feels terrible for him because he fought so hard to get back, and then to have it all end like this is very tough. He said you got to win a game. You got to win a game in Indy and get it back to Milwaukee. But the team's focus is right now on Dame. Right now,
the focus is on Dame. Well, who's the medical staff need to be focused on Dame? The team need to be watching film tonight. The team that Dame can't help you no more. Team got to be watching film. I didn't focus on Dame. That's a terrible quote. Another terrible one. The medical staff needs to be focused on Damian Lillard. The medical staff needs to be focused. Doc can't do nothing for you. Focus on the damn team.
Hold on. Back to the drawing board. We didn't. When I read these quotes, I'm combining the reporter's quote question with the quote.
Okay.
So hold on. Just hold on. Take a deep breath. We about to get there. It's coming. Pause. Back. They gotta go back to the drawing board. When they started this series, they didn't feel like they were gonna have Dame, and now they're back at square one. No matter who's on the floor, you can't let a team shoot 60% from the field like that and let them get whatever they wanted. Hold on, I'm gonna get to let you wait for it, but hold on, we'll go through these. Doc has confidence in all of his guys, and he has to find a way to get the right rotation, better defense, more efficient spacing out there. Then a guy went in there and he asked him, he said, "Is it tough to potentially end the season by injuries 2 years in a row?" He said that's something he can't think about right now. He'll have to wait until the summer to think about that. Tonight, all night, him and the coaching staff will be watching film. They'll be watching film tomorrow morning. They come up with a game plan for that.
Justin, we want to hear from you. Okay. We want to hear from you, Justin. This
last point was
Doc is trash. He says everything you're supposed to say as a coach, which I appreciate. Not. Get the hell out of here, Doc.
He said they gonna watch film. Why weren't you doing that for the last 4 games? I mean, we're gonna be up all night tonight because we down 3-1. We're gonna be up all night tonight. We're gonna find the game plan. Why you ain't finding the game plan coming into game 4? What you mean you gonna find it now? You're gonna find it now in game 5. Hey, if JT was here, definitely been saying doing the same thing, expect different results. Why were you not game planning all? Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, you're good. So, I mean, the emotions are all over the place now from everyone. Bucks fans, Pacers fans are riding the high. Completely understand it. I'm tired of the chatter back and forth and the talking. I mean, some of this stuff happens. I mean, we just gotta call it what it is, man. Tyrese Halliburton and the rest of them punks in Indiana walking on the floor calling grown men bitches, and that's why this stuff is going like that. You've seen it multiple times. And Nah, you can hoop, you can clown, you can talk trash, you can tell them they suck, you can tell them all that, but that's crossing the line, man. And at this point, man, I mean, someone just need to punch him. Just punch him. You call me a bitch, I punch you. That's what we do. I mean, if we're gonna walk around like, it's a difference between hooping and stuff like that. I feel like the team just completely did not recover from the Dame injury. Is that an excuse? I don't know. Should they have came back from it? I don't know. I think it was horrific. I mean, the only people that were front running and gloating about it and glazing about it were Pacers fans and them 15 dudes that sit on that bench. I mean, that is a horrific injury to think that this dude fought from blood clots to coming back. Potentially you could lose your life from a blood clot to getting on the floor and then potentially 99. I mean, hell, he's blown out his Achilles. Doc basically told us that as well. To have his season and his career potentially end like this, it's just astonishing to me, man. Like, I'm at a state of shock. I don't understand why we can't stop TJ McConnell. I don't even understand how to do this in the NBA. I mean, this
I see it.
This is a dude that got killed by Bronson Koenig. You Arizona fans, I know most of you Indiana people didn't know where he was. He got his ass handed to him by Bronson Koenig. He gets in the NBA. Kevin Porter Jr., you're supposed to be a $100 million player. Hey, man, somebody got to check the ball and hoop. If you're not gonna fight, stop all the talking, stop all the other stuff. You know, I throw this. I don't really have any notes. Like, I didn't write nothing down. We need to turn basketball to hockey, man. Now I'm on a tangent all the way up. Let these dudes fight and send them to the penalty box. I bet you we'd be up 3-1 if we could fight, because can't nobody on that bench fight.
I don't know. The way I don't know, man. I ain't seen enough heart from the guys on the floor. Because if you can fight, you should be able to run and be athletic. We on the ground all game long. Listen, listen. I say something that I haven't said all serious. Halliburton should call them bitches. Why not? That's what you're playing like. If you're gonna play like that, you go play below the rim, and you gonna let guys move the ball and run all around you. Ha ha. They laugh. What's the name? Gary Trent get a steal, come down the court, try to lay it up. Halliburton block the shot. He get the rebound. He run up the damn court. Why not? What you gonna do? They ain't done nothing. So yeah, I don't have no problem with Halliburton calling them bitches. Why not? That's what you're playing like. Billy Bobby said, Billy Bobby said, he said something like, what's up? I can't find it now. He said, what's up, you fired Bud morons? Or something like that. Do you see what Mike Budenholzer did in Phoenix, my man? Shit. Work. They in a worse situation than Milwaukee. Or were. No, I didn't. Yeah, but Bud needed to be fired. Had the same thing happen. He's terrible. But again, go ahead.
This is just so stupid. Like, this is just dumb. We're gonna start calling these dumb people out. Fire Bud people, trade Chris, you Middleton people, you Drew Holiday people.
But that's the thing on them again. I keep go back to the Middleton thing. Somebody explain to me how he changes anything that happens tonight. Not just tonight. This series, you can't. It'll be one thing if this series was nip and tuck and it was a shot here, a shot there was the difference. I could almost say, yeah, you know what? Maybe if Kuz was playing this bad, I could say, you know what? Maybe a couple shots here and there is a difference, and maybe Chris Middleton would have hit him at the end. Man, we could have used his shot making to end the games. That didn't matter when you're down 20. The issue you give, but we should all be able to agree. Chris Middleton defensively is cooked. He's cooked defensively. I mean, absolutely cooked. Brook Lopez started the game hitting a couple shots today. It didn't matter because he gave up every point on the other end. Gave up every single point. So if you're giving up, how is he stopping giving up 100 points in 3 quarters? Explain when you can explain that to me. And again, you're not about to tell me, oh, he would have put up the no, dog. He was cooked. So again, was Kuzma the right guy? No, Kuzma's been ass. He's been ass. But I'll tell you this: with Damian Lillard, and we'll talk about this another point in time though. With Damian Lillard being injured, I'm thankful. I am thankful to the heavens that we're under the second apron, because you'd have been in even worse situation right now if you had Chris Middleton opting back in at $30-some million. Even worse.
And this is the other thing, because you see that fool Mr. Clown, Mr. That guy 114. Kuzma's this Kuzma. We saw Middleton put up 0 twice this year. Twice. Like, stop acting like dude over averaged 10.7 points on the damn Washington Wizards. They ain't got nobody on that team. AJ Johnson was starting at the end of the year. Like,
well, I'm just saying it was my point is my whole point in that is one person's not stopping. It's even forget Brook Lopez. As bad as Brook Lopez, it didn't matter. None of it matters. We are not good enough. You could have put them out. They were getting beat. Unless you had overhauled the entire roster, we were getting beat. There were large swaths of this game where Brook, Kuzma, and Prince were not in. You got your ass whooped in those minutes too. This wasn't like when we just whooped. No, you were losing. Period. You were losing, man. We were losing. Put whoever you want to put out there. We were losing the damn series. Is what it is. You were losing the game. You didn't lose it by 2 points here. Oh, man, one possession. No, you got your ass whooped all over the court for 48 minutes. One person's not stopping any of that. And if you think they are, you know what it reminds me of? I'm sorry, Chris, I'll let you go. But it reminds me of, there's a kid I used to, kid in high school, I won't say his last name. His name was Alex. He used to hang out with this kid named Alex, man. And Alex, for whatever reason, he was like a magnet for getting his ass whooped. And it was a magnet for people bullying him, where you didn't want to be around Alex because you knew something bad was going to happen being around him. Like, you might end up in a fight because Alex is there and somebody just wanted to smack Alex upside the head. And it was just bad. Like, I had people like, hey, you with Alex? Nah, I can't hang with you. I can't come around because Alex going to be, because I know something bad's going to happen. But my point is, the crazy thing is, Alex didn't even do anything. He really did. A lot of times, he really didn't do anything. It was just, we got to blame him. He's a target. That's what it feels like with Kuzma and even Brook to some extent. They ain't even got to do nothing. They're just a target. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. And again, you're not about to convince me that adding one person here, Jericho Sims, I like him over Brook. I'd have played him over Brook. It's not making a difference, man. It's not making a difference. That's what I'm saying. It's not making a difference. Go ahead, Chris.
I will actually push back on that a little bit. I think if you would have had Jericho Sims in this game a little bit more early on, I think you might have put yourself in a better spot at least. But yeah, I mean, you're right. You probably still lose the game. Look, I just think, when you guys talk about in the chat about how these trades are failures, I'm not gonna deny that these trades were bad. But at the end of the day, I actually wanted to go out and we said this on the podcast, I wanted to go out on our sleeve, at least trying something else. I just wanted to try something else because the way the seasons have ended in previous years, yes, we've had injuries and we had another injury this year, is first round and second round exits. And so if you guys want to sit here and say that you would have rather ran it back with, Chris, then that's fine. If you would have thought,
I'm sure he'd have won. He was the difference. They'd have won the series. Yeah, you're right. Chris Middleton would have won the series. That's how it would have worked.
Yeah,
I know.
I don't think that's the case, but to some people it is. But to me, also, I think there's some positives that came out of those trades anyway. I think you probably don't get KPJ if you don't deal Chris Middleton. You probably don't get Jericho Sims. Or was he in that trade? Yeah. So, yeah, you wouldn't have got Jericho Sims. I think he could be a bright spot. Regardless, it all sucks. Everybody's emotional right now. And, I'm the type of guy to talk people off the fence. Listen, it just is what it is right now. We're all hurt. Dame got hurt. And, it's not much we can do about, what the GM did. We're not the ones who made the trade. we're us sitting here talking in front of the microphone. We didn't make the trade. So, to me, it's just – yeah, they haven't worked out. Kuzma's been shit. Point blank period. He's been shit. But a lot of these guys have been, Doc included. A lot of these guys down the line have been shitty. And for years it's been this way. So I think you really where your issue is, you just signed the man who's done all this shit to the Bucks in terms of allowing people to influence you to fire coaches left and right. Adrian Griffin had this team 32-13. You sign him to an extension, a guy who's shit the bed in draft picks, a guy who picks based off of potential, and he doesn't get win now players. He's had multiple first round picks, and none of them have panned out, except for Dante DiVincenzo down the line with a different team. They won a championship without Dante. it's just it's an organization thing for me, I think, and it's not getting any better.
I think the reason why you brought John Horst back is because he is a master manipulator when it comes to that trade market. And he does a great job with the trade market. Like you just mentioned though, right? The only other dude you could say outside of maybe AJ Green, outside of the dude that was the best on the floor tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks may have been KPJ. And you don't have him if you do not make that Middleton trade. So we're not moving goalposts.
That's not a moving goalpost. Yeah.
We're not defending a 0-0-0-0 game, you damn clown. What we're doing is we're giving you the damn facts. You want to sit here and talk about people moving goalposts and stuff like that? Look, Chris Middleton in 2021 may be able to beat this Indiana Pacers team by itself.
I'll give that to you. Sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
But we're talking about 2025, 2 ankle surgeries, a knee surgery, a wrist surgery, another touch-up ankle surgery in the summer, a dude that didn't come back when the team wanted him back, and frustrated the locker room and caused a divide in the locker room. This ain't the same dude that you saw that was on one of them buses going down Wisconsin Avenue. It's a completely different dude. And you come in here with this bullshit after we got our asses kicked. Hey, Kuzma sucked tonight. He sucked the entire series.
Absolutely.
No one's making excuses for Kuzma. He's had terrible games this year. But you know what he's also done? He's played in every game. Why don't you take your bum ass to the Washington Wizards playoff chat? Oh, my bad, they don't have one. So I guess you go watch some damn ping pong balls. Man, get the... Yo.
Well, yeah, no, and I'm with you. Yeah, that's the only thing. Nobody, I don't think people, when nobody moved the goalpost, you didn't listen. You heard Kuzma, you just immediately turned your ears off. That's not what happened. Nobody moved the goalpost. The issue was Chris Middleton was cooked. And Maddie says, I would like to rock out with Chris. For what? That's how, talk about stupid. That's the dumbass mentality you dumbasses have. How does that help? You would have felt better. Oh, that's my thing. It would have made you feel better to lose with. Well, at least we lost with Chris Middleton. Would that make you feel better? Like, I don't. To me, you're missing it. You would have lost regardless. Why does that make you feel better to have a guy? Oh man, at least we lost with Chris. The hell does that do for you? It does nothing. It doesn't. Just like if people like, oh, you'd have felt better if you lost with Mike Budenholzer. Would that have made you feel better? That doesn't make any sense. NYC Demon says the trades were made for a healthy Buck. Now, and NYC. And this side note, NYC is listening because he listens every show. The trade, because we talked about this, and NYC, I'm glad you bring it up because I forgot to even say it. The trades were made for a healthy Bucks team. Correct. That's what the trades were meant to be if you had a full nucleus of players that were healthy. We did not. We just never were healthy in the Bucks and the Celtics, who have 7 great players. So it don't matter who plays. We're also not the Lakers who get Luka in their lap. We are cursed, and the Lakers look like shit too. They're cooked with Luka. Don't even matter. So again, that's what I'm saying. Mac, man, hell yeah. That's how stupid you guys are. Hell yeah, I'd rather lose with Drew and Chris than trash KPJ and Kuz. KPJ play well. That's stupid anyway. But yeah, okay. So I get it now. So that's why I'm not going to address this anymore. We're dealing with idiots who would rather have lost with nostalgia. That's fine. I got it. Okay. So now at least we're on the same page. You guys would rather lose with older players than lose with newer players. Cool. Take that shit somewhere else. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. The absolute dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's okay. Like I said, people are stupid, and I totally get it. So again, now I can calm myself down because I understand now we're dealing with stupidity, and I don't have to address stupidity. So go ahead.
I mean, I guess my last point is he just says the fact is that they traded for Kuzma. The reason why we traded for Kuzma and why John Horst traded for Kuzma for the millionth time, and I feel like we talked about this since the trade happened. And for those of you clowns that are telling me to take down the Kuzma jersey, the jersey isn't even about Kuzma. It's about the front of the jersey. What'd I say, Chris King? I said no matter, because this Kuzma jersey all came from a Jimmy Butler discussion, did it not? When
correct.
I was like,
that's what we wanted in the first. Again, you're not that nobody listen. Nobody. Oh man, we can't wait to get. Nobody wanted no damn Kyle Kuzma. Chris Middleton's ankles were just so damn cooked. That's all you could get. Since you go, whatever, Chris Miller, he's ass. It's a wrap. It's ass for ass. That's what y'all not getting this. It's ass for ass. You didn't trade this great player who is great in 2025 for this bum-ass Kuzma. You traded a bum-ass 2025 Chris Middleton on bum-ass ankles for a bum-ass Kuzma. All of it was 2 packs of ass. Y'all not understanding. You traded ass for ass. It's a bunch of twerking going on, but it's musty and it stinks.
And the number 2 dude we wanted was Levine. And we couldn't get him either. So, like, what are we talking about here? And then the other thing, just, man, like losing with new players or old players, it doesn't make a difference. If you lose, you lose. But I at least John Horst didn't just sit on his hands and say, man, I hope this team can come back.
Again, because it's the whole thing. If you thought you'd win, you'd have never traded him in the first place. If he was playing that well, he would have never got traded in the first place. So again, was I right or wrong about it's that you Mr. That's the last thing I'm gonna address for Mr. That one guy. I'm not gonna address him anymore because I think he's an idiot. But again, it's not about being right or wrong. And that's the thing. Everybody was bad. You're not understanding. Everybody was bad. So if it makes you feel better that you can play this game in your head, that somehow I guess you got on 2K and you think that you could put in Chris Miller, he would have played well. If that's what you think, cool. I think you're wrong. But again, yeah, it's much easier it's the same. But again, it's the same thing with the Dame trade. Forget Kuzma. Same thing with the Dame trade. Damian Lillard hasn't worked out either. It has not worked. It didn't work. Now, has he been better than Kuzma? Yeah, but it has not worked at all. Damian Lillard has not worked in Milwaukee. This injury aside, hasn't worked. Do you still do the trade? Yes. Every time. So again, because again, if that's how you feel, you should feel the exact same way about Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday, he's not helping you either. Drew Holiday's not helping this either. You're losing. You're losing with Dame. You're losing with Drew. You're losing with Chris. You're losing with Kuzma. That's what you got to get through your head. You were losing. No, you idiot. You're done. No, Mr. That guy. You're dying on the heel of some old players that you still think can play. They cannot play anymore. It's rap. I know Bucks fans living in 2021. Exactly. You're living in the past. There. As for it's cheeks, man. All of it's cheeks. But anyway, okay. I'm off the Kuzma thing. Got me off topic because but again, it goes back to my point about Alex, where you just start blaming somebody else. Kuzma's not the reason you lost the series. Kuzma's not the reason. The man played 20. He ain't the reason you lost. You lost because your roster's not good enough. Doc Rivers not good enough. You lost because you're not a good enough team. Point blank, period. And if you want to find a scapegoat to blame, find it. But you lost because you were not better than the damn Indiana Pacers. And you could put whoever you want on. You could put in Drew, put in Chris, put in whoever. Them boys was losing. They was losing. Ass and ass. So again, I don't want you to frame this incorrect because it's like, dude, you were defending Kuzma. No, I'm not. I ain't defending nobody. I'm telling you, everybody's ass. That's what I'm telling you. Everybody's ass.
Yeah, and it showed throughout the series. I mean, if you were just to not spot the Pacers double-digit leads in those first 2 games, granted, probably game 1 you still probably lose. Game 1 at most. Second game, when you even brought it back to 115, 113 in that second game, what has been cooking the Bucks this whole series? And I'm back on the basketball part because I'm done with the chat. We're moving too fast. I'm overwhelmed. So 115, 113, another wide open shooter. Now, that falls on the whole basketball team because what did I see all night tonight? A team shoot 60% from the field, wide open shooters, left and right. And that goes on Doc. That goes on the players for not knowing their assignments. That goes on the players for not having the chemistry to communicate. And ultimately, I mean, with a Dame injury, you were going to have to get a win in Indiana, and you couldn't do that. It was desperation once you went down 2-0 anyway to me. And it's so frustrating that this had to happen on this night because you thought some momentum went the Bucks' way after Gary goes for 37 in Game 3, and it looked like we were at least going to, weather the storm a little bit, and then Dame goes down, and then ultimately nobody wants to defend anybody, and now we're sitting at 3-1 again. And so changes have to be made. I don't know what it's going to be in the grand scheme of things, but to me, I think like Doc could be gone. He should be gone. The way he rolled out that damn starting lineup with Taurean Prince, Brook, and Kuz for 2 games in a row, like that, like terrible. John Horst, they just extended him, which I think is so bad. He should be gone in my eyes too. Damn near Haslam, sell the team, sell it. So
I don't mean to upset you anymore, but I don't think Doc is going to be gone either.
Which sucks. That sucks. That is a harsh reality that we're gonna have to realize, but that sucks. He should be. He ain't the man old as hell. Let's go get somebody young, somebody who don't spend his damn off days on the damn golf course all the time. Get in the fucking freaking film room. Anyway.
Oh, shit. Dang, man. Sheesh. I spend my off days on the golf course.
Doc sucks.
I spend my off days on the golf course too, Chris.
You're not, but you don't. But see, you don't make $10 million a year coaching a basketball team.
Doc does have,
no,
and I see this comment. Okay, the chat slowed down. Doc doesn't have the roster. He has Giannis Antetokounmpo. He has Damian Damn Lillard in game 2. And well, Dame was ass. But
Dame was ass
before
too.
He got hurt.
Dame was cheeks
and even
too.
Tonight he might have been ass because I saw the way he pulled. But I'm not going to go there because he is hurt. Yes, but he certainly you had the pieces to at least beat the Indiana Pacers. To me,
I don't know what you did.
So what do y'all think about the change coming out of the second half with him sitting Brook and stuff like that? Like that's a legitimate change. It didn't work,
right? It didn't. That to my yes, that is the point. It didn't work. That's what I'm saying. Again, and guess what? He can come out next game and sit Kuzma. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going unless you're going to defend at a high level from start to, from top to bottom and switch everything. I don't. Again, they did it. And the crazy thing is, they did it for a second half. They did it for one half in game 4, in game 3. That's what they were able to sustain that for. I don't know that it's going to work. And again, Giannis has to be Superman. He's got to put up basically 40 points. And you need somebody else to come with him. Maybe it'll be KPJ again. But you're right. They sat Brook Lopez. Didn't work. Didn't matter. There was a time where, literally, where the Bucks actually had a legitimate chance to maybe get back into the game. It was about a 12, 13-point game, whatever it was. And the Bucks were scoring at, almost every single time down the floor. We couldn't stop Indiana. Every single play was either open 3 or TJ McConnell breaking down defense, hitting a layup, hitting a jump shot. Every single play, 3. Back and forth, back. And it just didn't matter. This game's had to be won on the defensive side of the ball. It just will. NYC Demon with a super chat says, I have to be honest, John Horst being terrible at drafting has come back to bite us. OKC has 5 players all developed from the draft. Bad day, man. NYC's correct, but Chris, you've made that point up too. But the problem is, and here's the problem. You really want to blame. It's not John Horst. And again, I think John Horst did a good job. People talk about extending him. It was a bad move. Again, I think it was a fine job. I don't have any problem with the job John Horst has done. I think he's been limited in some of the things. I'll agree. He has not had the best drafting of players record. But again, drafting it's not a science. The problem, if you want to look at anybody, look at CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum and that stupid ass CBA has killed the entire NBA. It has changed the way the NBA. It's changed the way you have to. It's changed the philosophy of the NBA teams. And what's actually happened is the Milwaukee Bucks weren't able to take advantage of it. The Milwaukee Bucks were in the middle of trying to, while they were changing the CBA and how the inner workings of the CBA. The Milwaukee Bucks were not in a rebuilding phase to where they could really pay attention to what was going on. The Milwaukee Bucks had to go out and try to put out winners every single year. And again, they got through injuries, whatever. You had to keep running these teams back, but you really didn't have the opportunity to build it in a manner to where the CBA was coming, which is why, again, it was a good thing to trade Chris Middleton because at least you're under the second apron. And again, that's a win in of itself. But CJ McCollum really hampered the Milwaukee Bucks and that whole NBA Players Association, that executive staff with some of the moves they've made. They have changed the entire landscape of the NBA. And again, for better or worse, whatever you want to say, they changed it while the Bucks didn't have an opportunity to make that shift as well. So We'll see what the Bucks are able to do. I think it's gonna be a tough road. But yeah, I think that was tough. But I think it's tough to blame John Horst when he's been hampered from coaching decisions. Giannis made the decision on Adrian Griffin, which I should have stayed with. Giannis then made a decision to fire Adrian Griffin. Then Jimmy Hassel made the decision to hire Doc Rivers. So again, step back, let John Horst actually do what he wants to do here, and let him build this thing. Let him build it. That's what you got to do. You got to let him hands off John Horst. Let him build a basketball team. It's gonna be tough to do, but yeah. And Tish says I think Horst did a great job. I agree. I think Horst has done a damn good job outside of drafting. I think John Horst has done a really good job.
Well, I would even agree with that, but I would say it's even more instrumental that the drafting be a success when you're dealing with lack of money and older players that have no value. And to me, he just hasn't provided enough of that. There's guys that elevate teams right away, even in the late first round. Even in the late first round, there's guys you can find. And to me, the approach, it's not even so much the guys or the result. It's the approach to the draft that makes me the most furious at John Horst and the way that this front office does things. Why? Why are we going for project picks all the time? Marjon Beauchamp, you can't tell me the kid was not a project pick. You can't tell me A.J. Johnson, who's not on the team anymore, they made that trade, but you can't tell me he wasn't a project pick. Like those guys in the first round, when you have the best player in the world for years on years, you just needed pieces here and there to stay young and athletic or get younger and athletic. And now he's forced himself to be in a position where he had to go out and get guys like KPJ and Kuzma. KPJ's been good to me.
I think KPJ and I think the trade KPJ and Sims have been good. Kuzma hasn't, but yeah,
So
I mean, it is what it is.
do we hold that on Horse, or do we put some of that blame on the scouting staff that's going out and scouting these kids and saying this is a kid you need? Because I agree with you.
That's Horse hires good people too.
No, and I'm with you. I agree. Horse's first round drafting is horrible, but I think he's found some pretty decent players in that second round and that undrafted free agent thing too.
Who in the second round?
Andre Jackson Jr. was a starter for majority of the year.
He sucks. He is not an NBA. He's not an NBA player offensively.
He's not. But I mean, he started more games than.
That shows you where this team is, where this organization is, because you went and got a guy because he was a role player on a national championship team. Yeah, let's go grab him. Toumani Camara gets picked 20 picks later, and he would be 10 times the player Andre Jackson is for the Bucks. Guys like that, and instead we got a guy who's incompetent on offense. And that's probably the only second round pick that had any value anyway. Well, Tyler Smith, he another project pick, but like the second round, he's been.
I think you got to lean into Tyler Smith. Listen, I want to. This is different. Moving forward, CBA wise, you got to lean into the. I think Tyler Smith has some talent. You got to let him get out there and play basketball. I think even Pete Nance, you got to move away from Brook Lopez. That's all I'm saying, and lean into the young guys, and you got to develop. That's why you should have kept Adrian Griffin, but you have to and that's where I thought the Bucks were going. We're gonna develop our young guy, and they completely blew it up for some odd reason. As Adrian Griffin was 32 and 14, 30, whatever the record was, and it made no.
They're talking about Mamu and Sam Merrill. Get the hell out of here.
I like Sam Merrill, but yeah, Mamu ain't doing nothing, man. Mamu's on. That's what I'm saying. Like Bucks again. I believe Bucks fans they're addicted to people that have already had their own jersey on. That's why you got Mark Gomes in the chat talking about, oh yeah, Drew, you should run it back. Y'all would run back Drew, Giannis, and Chris until they in retirement. I'm surprised nobody's calling for Oscar Robertson to come in and we to resign that. Y'all, I've never seen people who again. You guys can't. I just can't. I can't believe. I just can't believe.
I'm looking at every comment.
Oh, he's ass. Livingston's ass. Livingston's terrible.
But you do got to give him some credit for AJ Green and bringing in guys like Ryan.
Good job. Good, and that's a credit to him. But you didn't have to risk much with those. You didn't have to risk much for Ryan Rollins either. He's stealing out of Target. He's taking candles for his apartment. Like you don't have to risk that much. But when you're in that, when the pressure's on, and you hear that, when you hear Adam Silver heading up to the stage, he folds every single time. He folds every time.
And that's correct. Al McGuire, Al McGuire's wrong here saying Pat Riley knew. Pat Riley didn't know nothing. Pat Riley was trying. Pat again. Do y'all not remember what happened? Pat Riley wanted Damian Lillard. The issue was the Portland Trailblazers thought he was trying to strong arm him. Pat Riley didn't know anything. Pat Riley was dead wrong. Look at the Heat right now. Pat Riley's dead wrong. What are you talking about? Pat Riley knew. Pat Riley didn't know shit. Pat Riley's asleep at the wheel right now is what Pat Riley is. Let's see, man. Let's keep going here. Damian Lillard, first 6 minutes of the game, does suffer a what it has not been fully confirmed yet, but Chris Haynes and he's been called lower leg injury. Chris Haynes basically tweeted out too, basically saying that it's going to be a torn Achilles for Damian Lillard. You saw it pop again. I thought it was a valiant effort for him to come out and try to play and try to do what he could do, but it wasn't. He never was 100%. Didn't look 100%. There will be conversations about Damian Lillard. I don't think he's going anywhere either. I don't think you can trade him. It's $58 million. I don't think there's a way in the world you could trade Damian Lillard right now, moving into the offseason with the torn Achilles. I don't think it's happening at all. And it's a very tough thing to see. Obviously, hope he gets better, but I think you're dealing with another year of Damian Lillard, and just waiting on him to return. And I don't think you can get rid of him. I don't see a way. Who's taking on $60 million of Damian Lillard unless he retires? And again, if I'm Damian Lillard, why would I retire? You got to rehab your Achilles anyway. I might as well rehab it while I make $58 million. So he's not retiring. You're not getting any medical clearances there at all. So it's a very the situation actually got worse. And again, for all you for your Mr. That one guy, you dumbass. Again, because you are now probably going to be unable to trade Damian Lillard, it's even you should be again thanking the heavens that you got off of Chris Middleton and got under the second apron, because you would be in an even worse situation than you are right now. You would be in an even worse situation than you are right now if you had not traded Chris Middleton, because not only would you have Damian Lillard not collecting the check, not doing anything, you then have Chris Middleton opting back in at 30 plus million and doing whatever the hell he does with whatever's left with the corpse of Chris Middleton in 2026 post ankle surgeries. And you'd be at the second apron. Your picks will be frozen in 2031. You would be in absolute hell. You're already in hell. You'd be in the double hell or whatever the hell you want to call it is.
Yeah. The Dame thing, I'll just preface this by saying, I mean, I've talked some crazy stuff already about him in this series, but to me, I do appreciate the effort of getting back out there and at least letting us see a little bit of playoff Dame and Giannis. It wasn't great. This has just been an indictment on the whole trade, in my opinion. The way that this has not really worked out. You could have convinced yourself it was with all the stats and everything that came out about how they're the facts that they were the highest scoring duo in the regular season. But it just it leaves a bad taste with him going down like that. And it's super tough to deal with, and certainly for the future, it stinks. Because the guy's 34, might not play next season, probably not. And yeah, you just never felt like this thing really got going at all. And you would have thought, like, even after Game 3, that we would have been like, okay, we were saying we could have won this series, and we might still, which would be a miracle. But, even us saying that we had all the momentum going into Game 4, this thing really didn't look all that great, to be honest. We could just all be honest with ourselves. This Dame and Giannis thing just didn't look all that great. They hyped it up all the time before this happened, that Dame and Giannis would be awesome. Even those two did. And it just wasn't that great.
I don't disagree with what the finished product looks like right now for this year. And hoping by some miracle it's something different and that Dame has. But I agree with Trey. And, I mean, Chris Haynes and Doc is pretty much 99.9% confirmed what it is. But, Still put hopes out there that a miracle change it is something different. I mean, I don't think it is either. But if I rewind back to when a trade was made, would I make that trade? Yes, I would. I still would. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. We just didn't get the results from it than what we thought we were going to get. And that same argument could have been made for Drew Holiday as well. We could have made that trade and Drew couldn't have worked out here. And then it could have been a horrible trade as well because we gave up a boatload of picks for that trade too. But fortunately for us, it worked out, and 21 was a championship for us. Now, going forward, I agree with you. I don't know what else we have left with him being mid-30s with this potential horrific injury that we saw derail guys that are the best at what they've done. I mean, I remember Dominique Wilkins being able to grab a quarter off the top of the backboard and having that injury and turning into Gerald Wilkins and a shell of him. So it's a good trade. It's a great trade that Horst made. Unfortunately, with trades, you're 50-50. They're going to work or they're not going to work. I applaud Horst for that move, and I wish it would have worked out differently. Ironically, when you look at the Celtics series, Drew sat out 2 of the last 3 games or 3 of the last 4, something like that. So all I'm saying is injuries come. You can't predict injuries. I just hope the best for Dame, and I hope he can come back. That's why I'm rocking my Dame hat tonight for whatever well wishes and prayers to him. Thank you for coming out and putting Milwaukee on your chest and really coming out and doing what the city would do. He went out there on a bum leg. Remember last year, everyone was begging for Giannis to come back? Dame risked it all for the city. I can't fault anything about him. And he was already one of my favorite players that wasn't a Buck. And just for doing that alone, he'll be one of my favorite Bucks of all time.
Favorite Bucks of all time is crazy. He did risk it though. He did. He came out. He gave it his all. I will give him credit for that. NYC did with the super chat. He says we traded Dante for Ibaka. We drafted terrible. The Warriors have drafted Pods, Moody, Kuminga, Poole, Post while winning 4 chips. This sucks. Yeah, and again, but the difference they were able to win during that era where you could bring those players and try to create these, I don't want to say super teams, these teams on top of teams, and they were able to do that, and they were also able to do what the Bucks are going to try and do, which is kind of take a gap year to kind of figure it out, and then come back and win again, the other year. So yeah, they definitely have done a good job, and I think Bob Myers saw the writing on the wall, and that's why he said, "Let me get up out of here. It's going to be a little too much to make this work." And again, it is a lot of hard work to get this done. Again, Mark, I'm just not. I'm not going to address this. Disenfranchised legends. No, we're being realistic. That's all. You're being realistic. And again, I just go back to the same point. You don't want to be in. You cannot give me a good reason as to why the Milwaukee Bucks should be on the second apron. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. That doesn't make any sense at all. So again, trades work. Some trades don't work. But you'd have been in the same. My point is, you'd have been in the same situation, and it's funny because nobody in the comments can give me an actual scenario and where the Bucks are not down 3-1 right now. Let's keep going as we move along with this show. Yeah, Madison, the show got to stop with calling Chris ass. 2025 Chris is ass. I said it again. What you gonna do? Nothing. Not shit. So you can shut up. 2025 Chris ass. 2024 Chris and before that, great player. Beyond ass is what it is. Sorry. I believe in calling a spade. Like, you're not gonna sit here and make, well, he's a legend. You can't say that. Yes, you can. If you can't sit here and admit it, that is where we get to this point where we believe that like Drew Holiday is still can be a number 2 on a great team. He can't. He's good. He cannot be a number. Name him. It's not about Chris. All there. Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez was great a few years ago. He's ass. You got to be able to sit here and call people ass. Kyle Kuzma playing like ass. If you can't, that's the difference between me and some of you guys. You guys can't. I can see you're a defender. You're a Kyle Kuzma. No, Kyle Kuzma playing like ass. I can sit here and do that. Stand up, be a man, be a woman, Maddie, and say Chris Middleton in 2025's ass. If I can sit here and take Kyle Kuzma's ass right now, you should be able to say, hey, man, you know what? He is ass right now. He's ass. That's all right. It's okay to say it. Man, it's okay.
They say it nicer for him. He was a shell of himself.
Yeah, he did whatever you want to say. But dog, I mean, my God, man, y'all sitting there crying like he was going. God damn, he's not no damn. Like, God, man, God, like I did. This is how I felt when Cam Newton left the Panthers. But that was a damn franchise quarterback. This ain't no free. He's not a franchise player. He's number 2, which is good. Great. I ain't crying over Steve Smith. Come on, man.
Hey, can I ask y'all a quick question? Since we diss the Bucks legends and we doing all this other crazy stuff tonight, what y'all think about Giannis' first half? Shout out to Tish. She said he didn't finish well. She said that way earlier in the chat, and we got distracted by this is craziness. But she said Giannis wasn't finishing well, a lot of turnovers and stuff like that. And before y'all answer, just be careful because you're talking about a Bucks legend and they might get us again.
No, well, Giannis was the first half he was bad. Giannis' first half was not. It wasn't good enough. Difference is I knew exactly what he was going to do in the second. I knew he was going to come back in the second half and do exactly what I thought he was going to do. He played very well, moved the ball, scored the basketball. So yeah, his first half wasn't good. But again, I can give Giannis the difference between a true legend and somebody who is currently still a top. That's the difference. We still talk about Chris Paul as if he's like a top 20 player. He's not anymore. Giannis is still in the top 3, as a top 2, wherever you want to put him. I'm not going to argue with the top 2, top 1, whatever you want to say. He's in the top 3. I would say he's at least top 2. But Giannis, objectively, I can give him passes for a half because I know he's going to come back second half and cook, and that's exactly what he did. No, he wasn't good in the first half, but I mean, damn, he can't carry everybody back for 48 minutes. It's tough.
Well, and then at what point are we going to start talking about the game plan with Doc? If all these guys, even the TNT guys, even people in the chat talking about how bad this offense is and it's just Giannis downhill. Well, at what point does that fall on Doc Rivers to get these guys motivated to pass the basketball, move without the ball, cut to the rim? Like, basic basketball stuff was not happening around Giannis as well. I mean, all night. And to me, it's just like it affects the opposite end as well. Defense, they're playing so lazy. They're playing lazy on both sides of the ball. So at what point does that fall on Doc Rivers a little bit? The reason that Giannis feels like he had to take over so much in that first half, I think it goes on both of them. I think Giannis could have passed the ball a little more in the first half, but to each its own. Yeah, he was bad in the first half. Second half turned it up, but at that point, it's too late. I think even he let the Dame injury affect him a little bit. You could see it in his eyes. We've been watching Giannis for how long now? 13 years? 12 years? Like, you could see it. And so that's just the unfortunate part about today and really the series.
KPJ also started out rough too, man. When Dame went down, guys tried to do everything. AJ Green made a couple shots, missed a couple shots. I just think hopefully what's going to happen is that when we come out to this next game in Indiana, Doc will have a complete game plan for the guys that he has on the floor. Everybody will buy in, and we can find a way to win Game 5. That's all you can do now. Hey, what's Doc known for in the playoffs?
Losing
what? 3-1, right?
Yeah.
Flip the narrative. Why not?
Yeah, that's what the jersey should be. I don't know what to do. Like, why not? That's about all you can you kind of hope for at this point. It's rough. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm reading. I think the offense was a problem tonight as well, along with the defense. I mean, you got beat by 26 points. You try to run a track race every time up and down the floor. Like, there was nothing going on in the half court. They didn't do – no, it was bad all around tonight.
Yeah, no, it was rough. And I don't think you said, well, at what point is it on Doc Rivers? Again, it's really collective, man. Like, I really think it is. I do think Doc Rivers doesn't put him in the best spots, and that goes for everybody. But yeah, I definitely think it's a collective effort that they're not locked in on either end, man. Either end, and it's rough to see how this thing's gonna turn out. NYC another super chat says, I have to ask. I'm not saying it should, but what do you think? Is it possible Giannis asked out? I doubt he will be because he's loyal, but I won't be surprised if it happens. And that moves us to our next point here about end of an era. But NYC's asking, would Giannis ask out? Could he ask out? He absolutely could. I would say if he was an American, If he was an American athlete, there's not. I don't think there's a question in the world that Giannis would ask out. I don't believe there's a question. But knowing Giannis and knowing what he is and knowing who he is, there's the same. Again, Dame didn't ask out until what year was Dame Lillard when he asked out? When he asked out of Portland? How old was it? He was 30, what, 3?
33 had to be, right? 33.
And Giannis was what, 30?
Mm-hmm.
How long had Dame been there? I don't know how long he'd been there, but
there's some context behind that.
Well, I'm just saying,
if
ahead.
they went and drafted like Cooper Flag, if they had the opportunity to draft Cooper Flag,
right?
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what it was with Dame and Scoot, and then also Giannis already has a championship under his belt, so it's a little different when you're getting into talking about Dame and Giannis. But I think it sucks. But to me, like, if Giannis, it's just all about his values. And we know him as a player and as a person that he wants to stay in Milwaukee. He's loyal to Milwaukee. But to me, I mean, if you want to win now and put yourself in the best position to win now, he would. He would request a trade. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, no,
I don't think that'll happen.
But here,
really don't. I think he really wants to. And there's really at the end of the day, if you retire a Milwaukee Buck and you win one championship,
legend,
absolute legend,
legend. It's Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, it is. It's the same thing. We're not holding Giannis in the same regard as guys like LeBron who left at 27 or 26 to go to Miami. Like, he's just not that type of guy. He's not that type of player. He's not that type of person to do that. And so now when you're talking about you're 30 years old, would it hurt your legacy even more if you go and take that ass to Brooklyn? First off, the Brooklyn shit is stupid. But, like, if you take yourself to those type of places, if you take yourself to OKC and you don't win with Shea, how much worse will that be for your legacy?
Well, the whole right, exactly. Yeah, again, that's the whole thing. Grass isn't always greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. But the thing, again, here's my thing on Giannis asking out. Giannis would have to do, so just to answer your question, NYC, Giannis would have to do something we've never seen him do. Not only would he have to ask out, he'd have to ask out and then demand certain places he would go. That's what he would have to take a total 180 on the narrative of guy we know as Giannis. He would have to get nasty with the Milwaukee Bucks front office. Because again, and again, some of you, if you're a fan, and I'm a fan of Giannis, 100%. Yeah, I was a fan of Cam Newton. The reason, and I know people you talk about Cam Newton again. The reason Cam Newton was, and because Cam Newton, I'm telling you, just because of franchise way, he felt to a Carolina Panthers fan, Cam Newton is in the same regard, or when he was in Carolina, it held in the same regard as Giannis. When you think about just face of the franchise, love, culture, everybody, Cam Newton was the greatest thing of all time. Cam Newton didn't ask out; he was forced out. So people got upset with the ownership because they pushed Cam Newton out. Giannis would be doing something else here because he would be trying to ask out. If he asks out, and again, the thing is, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you have to work in the interest of the Milwaukee Bucks. If you're a fan, if you're here, Cream City Crossover, we are Milwaukee Bucks fans first, right? I can be a Giannis fan. I can follow Giannis. Giannis go wherever. I'm gonna be right here, right? Now I might watch it from afar, but I'm gonna be right here watching the Milwaukee Bucks. I know some of you Middleton fans are again, you watch the pick. You looking for who's gonna be the next pick, so you can watch the watch the Wizards, whatever the hell they do. But I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan, and so being a Milwaukee Bucks fan, I'd want to do the trade. If there was a hypothetical trade out there, it would be the trade that makes my team the best, right? And if that means I'm sending your ass to Toronto, if I'm sending your ass to Atlanta, if I'm sending you to Orlando, and that's the thing when I send, because that's the whole thing with Chris, when you say, well, he wants to put himself into a better spot. The only way you do that is if you actually try to pick your destination. Because if you do not, the team I'm sending you to, I'm going to leave them in a worse position than the Milwaukee Bucks are currently. So that's what I'm talking about in the chat. I'm saying when I trade Giannis, I'm taking this isn't Luka for AD, and we just gonna take AD and a couple guys. No. It's open bidding, and I'm giving them to the highest bidder. 6 picks. Give me 2 all-star guys. Give me everything you got. That's what we're trading Giannis for. We ain't trading for a pile of garbage just so he can go play with the Knicks in New York. Hell no. Hell, nah, I don't owe nobody no solids. I don't owe anybody a solid. So again, point being, I don't even know, Chris, when you say this would help his career. The trade I make, I'm gonna put you in a spot. It ain't gonna help your career. You're gonna be back by your damn self. That's that with zero, because I'm taking all the picks they got, and I'm taking whatever the best players they got. Maybe I leave you with one guy to be like a Dame Giannis situation. See if it works, because I'm taking every other asset. I'm taking it. That's how the trade would work. So again, my question is, how does that make you better? How does that get Giannis any closer to a championship? If the team I send him to, I take everything they got.
There's certainly a balance that some teams might have. Like, if you were going to just see what OKC had, I mean, you know how many picks they have. You know how many caliber players that could probably help restart the Bucks. So I don't necessarily all the way agree on him, being traded to a team that's just automatically going to be bad. I think
give me OKC, give me Chet, give me Chet, give me what's my man name? William, what's buddy? I want do it the Braves, Williams?
J-Dub.
J-Dub, give me J-Dub, give me
Isaiah
Chet.
Joe too.
Give me Isaiah. We matching all this. And guess what? And you taking Kuzma. You taking Kuzma. You taking. Yeah, you gonna take Kuzma too. I'm taking. So that's I'll be taking that. Giannis. That's $60 million. Plus Kuzma. That's $80 million that I'm throwing to your roster, and you're then gonna give me back picks as well as 3 primetime players. So it's gonna, guess what? It's gonna be you and Shea. Win a championship with you, Shea, and Alex Caruso. Good luck.
Which would be ideal for the Bucks if we're doing Cream City crossovers, and I'm excited. I'm excited to watch those games. If you had to restart this thing, no, but yeah, I mean, this could potentially be the end of an era. But like again, my thing is, I don't think he'll ask out. I think he wants to retire a Buck. I think he will retire a Buck, and that's just where the cards are. But at the same time, if you're going to field offers, you better do what we're talking about. You better get the most, because I don't think there's a guy with more value trade wise than Giannis out there.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of an era. I don't think Giannis will be traded. Trading for first round picks scares me. Todd Day, first round pick. I think Lee Mayberry, first round pick. We had a bunch, and my point is, we had a bunch of first round picks during the 90s and barely could equate to nothing but more ping pong balls the next year. So I don't want first round picks. I don't want those young guys on the OKC. They may be good basketball players and they may do better. But what I want is for us to retool this offseason, the best of our abilities, Giannis to rest up, have a full offseason of health, and see where this stuff is going to go. I don't think that we can go we can go in a trade. You just don't trade the franchise of the NBA.
Well, I'm just saying if he asks out. Yeah, you're right. I'm not trading him off top at all. No. He would have to ask. He'd have to ask.
No. The answer is no. Matter of fact, it's hell no. We did everything that you wanted us to do. We fired coaches. We traded players. We got rid of these dudes. We signed your brother. We signed your other brother to the herd. We got your family here. No. Play basketball for us, and you're loyal, just like you said in your thing. You got loyalty in your DNA. That's why everybody loves him so much, and that's why the national media hates it. So play it out. Be a Buck forever. And, hey, man, let's see if we can get one more before you set it all down.
Okay, but realistically, what can we do at this point?
You talking about moving forward, or you talking about in the series?
You
talking about in the series, or we talking about
series? Yeah,
you talking about in the series?
No, I'm saying, while we got everybody here, let's at least give them a little bit of what we could do in the off season. I really know if we lose on Tuesday. Hey, people, this might be the funeral show.
Oh, it will be. Oh, yeah, it will be on Tuesday. Yeah, it'll definitely be a funeral. I really don't know, because again, as much as you guys, As much as you guys hate Kuzma, I don't think you again. Who's trading for him? $20 million. Who's trading for him? Who's trading for Kyle Kuzma when he's not expiring? So I think Kuzma's back because again, that means you to get off of Kuzma, you'd have to send a pick too. At least you'd have to send a pick, and I don't think I don't think you're sending a pick just to get off of a player. So I think you're stuck there. And then it goes back to the question that we talked about, Chris. Do you spend your mid-level exception money on trying to bring back KPJ, or do you try to bring back Gary Trent along with him? Again, if you're going mini retool rebuild, I'm probably going KPJ. I'm probably going all in on KPJ, bringing KPJ back. I probably want Bobby back as well. And maybe you trade him middle of the year. I think there's some value there. But I really lean into the young guys. Like, honestly, I lean into the young guys. It's going to be a lot of what you saw this year, minus Brook Lopez. I mean, and again, maybe they do bring Brook back. I don't think there's a reason to. But I lean into Tyler Smith. I lean into Pete Nance. I lean into Jericho Sims, and getting him back if you can. I think Rollins is a free agent too, right? I believe he's a free agent, so it's gonna be tough. See what you do bringing him back. Dame's gonna be sitting on the roster doing whatever, but then you're gonna be on. Like I said, you're gonna be in a situation where it's minimum guys again, sitting around a roster of KPJ, Kuzma, Giannis, Jericho, and those guys that we just mentioned. So I think you're kind of hoping against hope that Tyler Smith is going to be. I think you're just hoping against hope that Tyler Smith is going to turn out. Really, Chris Livingston's ass. So I mean, that's the whole thing, Chris. It's very bleak. What the Bucks have is very bleak because I just don't think they have a lot of money to do anything. Again, your way to get out of this is trading Damian Lillard, and that is now gone. Your opportunity to get out of this is trading Dame. And he's going to be – you can't trade him. You got a torn Achilles.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just me being totally trained. I don't know.
Well, and Robert Allen says you get a mid-level if Dame is out for the year as an injury exception. So you get two mid-level non-pairing. So that's okay. So that I didn't realize. So that's a good point. So maybe you will get another exception if Damian Lillard misses the entire year to get something back. So if Todd says, what makes you think you can get KPJ back? I think that you will be using that entire. I can't remember how much money you'd have to use it, but you could use that entire thing and potentially get him back. I don't know. Again, my question. I don't know what KPJ. I don't know what his worth is on the open market. Is somebody with KPJ's history, or is he a $20 million a year guy? I don't know that. Or is he closer to 13 a year? Closer to 13 a year, yeah, you might as well come back. But, I don't know.
Well, yeah, knowing the opportunity that he'll get playing in, possibly a starting point guard role alongside Giannis. And they've built up some chemistry. I think from a player's perspective, it sounds good. It sounds good for him to come back. But then you also don't know what's going through these guys' heads if they want to be in Miami for less money, if they want to be in L.A. for less money again, stuff like that. So it's just all about his values. But I do think that we do have a lot to offer for KPJ, not even just the money. I think just the opportunity to grow again in this league.
Right, because again, he would immediately come in and get a start. He'd have a starting point guard job. He'd have a starting job next year. Along with Jan, easily. So I think there is some value in him coming back. Do want to get to the super chat. The last Quincy says no trade Giannis. It would have to be a compromise. No rival GM is trading for him if he isn't signing an extension. It will be asking to get fired. And the same with Horst and the assets he gets back. So last Quincy does make a good point about signing an extension. I mean, technically. Yes, but I mean, you think about the Luka deals. Apparently, Luka didn't know what was happening until the end. And again, that's the thing on the extension. Again, if you're gonna when you put that money in front of Giannis, of course I would think he's gonna sign whatever his supermax is, regardless of who it is. He's gonna sign it unless he's gonna take a significantly less to go somewhere else. Maybe he would, but how many guys have had a Supermax eligible and haven't signed it? How many guys I don't know of any that have had a Supermax eligible and have not signed it outside of LeBron. He signs 1 year, but again, he was flip-flopping teams all over the place. So he wasn't. I don't know if he would if he had that coming to him because of the way he flip-flopped teams. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's tough, but again, yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not giving him up to nobody unless he comes to me and asks and gives me a hey, I'm only going to these 2 or 3 teams. And it's tough. And again, even with that, see how it worked out for Damian Lillard. He wanted to go to Miami. And guess what? Not only that, people tell me, oh, well, it would never happen. He wanted to go to Miami. He didn't even have Milwaukee on the list. He got strong armed because it was so late in the offseason that he ended up having to take Milwaukee because they weren't going to trade him to Miami. So that's not necessarily true. I get it; it sounds good, but no, not necessarily true. If your ownership says no, we're not doing that.
And Jimmy Butler didn't have Golden State on his list allegedly in the beginning and wound up in Golden State.
Exactly. So Miami same way. Pat Riley said no. We're gonna do it the way we want to do it.
I just I just want to win Tuesday. That's it.
Todd, before I get to super chat, Todd says, are you now suggesting that we do what I want to do with Damian Lillard? And again, that's a fine. But again, it goes back to me the same thing as the Kuzma thing. It's a moot point. I get it. Yeah. If you want to victory lap and say, ha, I was right. I knew Damian Lillard wasn't going to work out. Congratulations. You got it. You got it. Yes. So again, would I trade? But it's different trading Dame now, which you can't even do. But in theory, trading Dame now versus trading him a year into the trade when he didn't even play with Giannis in the playoffs. Why would I have done that trade this past offseason? I would have done it. So again, to me, it's a moot point. Do you end up ultimately correct? Sure. If your whole point was Damian Lillard's ass, we shouldn't have traded for him. If you want, yes, the trade ultimately ended up being ass because Damian Lillard did not produce at the level he wanted to produce, and even when he did get closer to it, he then got hurt in the playoffs or had a blood clot right before it. Cool, cool. Same thing, but to me, I go the same thing with in a different way. Same thing with the Kyle Kuzma, Chris Middleton thing. If you tell me you're Victor, well, I knew Kyle Kuzma's ass. Cool. I don't think the alternative is any better. The only alternative. My alternative actually would have been trading him for Jimmy Butler, which you weren't able to do. So again, I think again we're talking moving goalposts. That's where we're moving and we're missing it. The alternative that Chris Middleton would have done better. No, now the alternative could have got Jimmy Butler. Cool. Could the alternative Zach LaVine? Cool. Maybe I could entertain it. But the point remains, you had to get off of Middleton. And the same thing with Damian Lillard. You had to get off Drew Holiday. You had to. NYC Demon says next year will easily be the worst year for the Bucks in a long time. Appreciate the super chat. He says trade rumors all year, no Dame, bad roster. We're stuck. Dark days ahead. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Not wrong in there.
Absolutely.
Unless somebody plays up. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, absolutely. And this is why, to the people who say they don't want to rely on KPJ next year, I mean, who else? Who else are you going to rely on? Who you putting all your cards into the Ryan Rollins basket? No, I'd rely on KPJ's inconsistent play or whatever. I mean, the guy obviously has some spark to him. So, like, who else are you going to – yeah, it's going to be dark days ahead for sure. But at the end of the day, when I look at that, those comments about KPJ being a psychopath and all this stuff, look, I think he could actually be really good for us. If you give him the keys. So we'll see how that works out. And I think you got to do everything in your power to get him back.
So Dame missed the entire end of the year, and we won 8 in a row at the end of the year and stuff like that. So I don't think it's going to be as doom and gloom as what we're portraying it out there to be. I mean, we'll still be a competitive basketball team. And if Giannis can really adapt this facilitating role even more and have a full offseason to prepare for it, and you get guys to play up above their level, Well, I mean, according to some folks, KPJ is like the worst thing ever in the world. So that's easy, right? But you got to remember Ryan Rollins was playing good. You got to get AJ Green. You got to get some of these guys to play better. And then, unfortunately, man, it's going to be time for Brook to go ahead on and go to Disney World and raise a child and have a great rest of his life and bank all that money that he made. And I think there's a shot as long as you got 34 on the floor, man. That's why I think it's a shot Tuesday, too. As long as you got 34 with a mediocre game plan, you're still in the running to win basketball games because that guy is just that good to me.
It is unfortunate. The Bucks they played 10 playoff games so far against the Indiana Pacers. They've had Damian Lillard and Giannis together for 2 of those games. So it's just been tough for the Milwaukee Bucks. Again, Mr. Wang, I keep talking about Chris having expired. Again, it's great. You'd have been on the second apron. So give me your answer for being on the second apron, how that helps you. You gotta give me that answer before you do that. Rick Ham says I was Victor laughing even before the injury. Yeah, I think, just going back with it, I agree with you, Justin. As long as you have Giannis, you'll field a competitive basketball team. So, yeah, it'll be doing, it will be loud. The talk will be loud about Giannis for sure. We'll see what he ends up doing. It's all on him, but the talk will definitely be loud. And people will talk about the failures. I think a lot of them. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be unfairly blamed on a lot of people. I think people are going to blame John Horst, and I think he's unfairly blamed. But ultimately, I think it's going to be a combination of different things. I think Mike Budenholzer was a part of it, not because you should have got a championship in 2019. Didn't happen. I think you should have repeated, but Chris Middleton got hurt in 2022. Didn't happen. And I think this whole Damian Lillard experiment has been, unfortunate because of injuries. Who knows what would have happened? But Damian Lillard's got to come back Damian Lillard's going to be coming back from a torn Achilles at the age of 35. I think Kobe Bryant did it. Kobe Bryant never looked the same at all when he came back from his Achilles. Reaper's Ghost with a couple super chats. He says, super chat, just to say it truly hurt me seeing Dame go down. Was a fan since he was Blazers. Love him as a person and his game. Really wanted him to win a chip. There's one super chat. Says if super retiring. Excuse me. Okay, let me get back. Really wanted to see him win a chip before retiring. He got a lot of hate. His legacy always gets compared to Westbrook and Harden when he didn't have near as many great teammates as both of them. That's true, and I think a lot of Dame fans, I don't compare him to Steph Curry. I think that was a little rough. But yeah, man, it's bad. But I do wonder how Damian Lillard gets remembered, what he gets remembered for. He's a top 75 player, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. Let me ask you guys this as we keep rolling and try to get this one to close. Well, no, and Ed Duggar says, what do you mean he's unfairly blamed? You're talking about Horst. I think the CBA had a lot to do with it. I really do. And I also think that Horst did. I think Horst did a lot of moves that weren't necessarily his. Again, I blame him 100% for the drafting, but I think a lot of moves that came from Horst were not necessarily his direction. We know the coaching situation was not in his direction. And again, some of the nostalgia stuff, I don't know how much again, it's clear he probably wanted some of these guys out because he was begging Giannis, can I please move Drew Holiday? Finally get the okay to move Drew Holiday. I wonder if he wanted to move Chris Middleton earlier but was kind of forced to keep Chris Middleton around. I don't know about Brook Lopez. I kind of think Horst probably liked Brook Lopez, so that one might be his fault. Probably because the numbers on Brook Lopez, if you're a calculator, if you watch basketball with a calculator, you probably enjoy Brook Lopez because he has these analytics that are pretty good. But yeah, nah, man. The last Quincy with another super chat. He says the media trying to will the Giannis trade into existence this offseason is going to be the worst thing to hear and see as a Bucks fan. Yeah, and Giannis can shut all the noise up though. So the question is going to be, what does Giannis do? Does Giannis shut the noise down and say, hey, I ain't going nowhere. I'm loyal, Milwaukee through and through. Does he do that, or does he let him play out and not mess with the noise and keep the rumors out there? That's going to be on Giannis, and we'll see what he ends up doing with that.
And it's happened before. So a lot of the times in the past, and it's certainly under different circumstances, certainly worse circumstances now, but he has shut those down before. So we just got to hope that happens.
So Tuesday night, I want Giannis to come out and play with the ultimate chip on his shoulder and to shut all the trade stuff down and be like, ha ha, I came in here, I dropped 60 on the Pacers' head. KPJ had 25. Kyle Kuzma had 11. And then the media won't have anything to talk about for a couple of days. But I will make the chat, since I'm all the way off the rails again, which is all good. Like, I don't really, whatever. If you want me to take this Kuzma jersey down, I'll take it down under one condition. I will take it down, and all you put a Y in there that wants to do it, and for every point that Kyle Kuzma scores the rest of the playoffs, you have to donate $1 for the point to the Midwest, the MAC Fund.
There you go. So there's your challenge. You want it down, $1 to the MAC Fund. You got to show the receipts too. If you want that, if you want the Kuzma jersey, I like that, Justin. No strays. ENT says I almost feel bad. Hey, here's $5 to buy the Bucks Nation a shot from Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Now all the Bucks need is a blow.
No strays really ain't that bad. I like him. He's a good dude, and he's a Celtics fan, and I'm happy that they're able to. Well, I'm really not happy they're able to succeed while we sit in the damn dungeon of the NBA, but we always appreciate No Strays coming in here and actually being a little positive after he talks his mess.
I'm not mad at it. No strays. And again, shout out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Excellent. You have a good time out there. I don't know how good a time you're having out there. Curly's out there in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Just a rough night out there. But again, shout out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Head on out there. Again, you can get $3 bottles and pints. Got at least one more opportunity to do it on Tuesday evening. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City crossover. Daniel Cantrell says, one championship in 12 seasons, lots of bad mistakes. You want to be me, but you can't, says Justin. Giannis has done his job, bro. Give him some help. Dude can't be chasing the win that he'll never catch. Make the roster better. Very simple. Again, I think it's one of the things where you can say very simple all you want. I don't think it's as simple as people say. Macman says Drew might end up a 3-time champ. That's great. That's excellent. If you want to they win in games while you don't even play. they win the city. They don't even need you, dog. So I mean, again, great. He is a Drew Holiday, and more power to him. I'm glad he's being successful. But yeah, he is not a necessity. He's winning champion. He's not a necessity in Boston. That's all. Todd Merrill. So sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree. He says you trade Kuzma for Middleton 100 out of 100 times. Great trade. There you go, Todd. Todd, wrong on Dame, right on the Kuzma. There you go. See, Todd is off all the old people. That's like kind of his thing there. He's off all the old people. What's fun? I think that Mr. Wing, he probably is one of those. I bet you he's one of Buddy. He's a friend of Buddy. So yeah, that's probably what that is. Is what because it's giving obsessive now. So I didn't realize it, but it's probably one of those burners that he has. So
it's real corny though. Like he's super corny.
That's what it is. Let's see. Rick Hamilton says I will pay $5 on that bet if I can burn it live. So he wants to burn the jersey. Tish says if Giannis or any of the superstars want to win so badly, how about taking less money to improve the roster? I'm never a fan of taking less money to improve a roster. And plus, I don't know that you can. That's not the way the CBA works that way, where you can take less. It's not like football where the cap, you can take less, a little less. You can do that. Well, I guess you can, but I don't know that it works for us because of the type of players that we have. But I see what you're saying. It would take less of it would really only save the owner's money, is what I'm saying. I don't know how much it would help anything else. And you're right. Giannis is really underpaid. He probably should make more than he does, but he's capped at what he could make. Real quick, before we go to Twitter and before we get this thing starting to wrap this thing up, I do want to ask you again. I know it sounds like there's not another game left, but there is another game left. What do you guys? Is there an opportunity? Game 5 coming up in Indiana. How do you win game? What is the options? Because again, I will say this, and again, better talk myself into some stuff. I said I wouldn't talk myself into any optimism, but if you told me, hey, Giannis, you got one game, do I think Giannis will go win a game? Absolutely. Do I think Giannis, with a bunch of absolute bums, could go win a game in Indiana? Absolutely. Now, do I think he can come back down 3-1 and win 3 in a row? No, I don't think he can win 1 and come back and win in Milwaukee, then come back and win in Indiana. I don't believe the Bucks can do that. But if you were to ask me, can the Milwaukee Bucks go into Indiana and win a game in that building? It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm never going to say no. I'm never going to say no, he can't do that. Giannis back against the wall, elimination. Do I think on an elimination night he can go out there and will his team to a victory? I do. Do you think he can do it? How do you do it?
It's over. But, yeah, you're going to need a lot more consistency from everybody not named Giannis. You're just going to need it because even game 1 without Damian Lillard, you spotted them 27 points in the first half or quickly into the third quarter or whatever that was. Today, when Dame goes out, the lead balloons to, 15 at some point, 16 right before the half. And so you're going to have to find the guys who are bought in on defense. You're going to have to really get in that film room, Doc. Your defense has to improve tremendously, and that starts by personnel. I would say, I think Brook at this point, why not just take him out of the starting lineup? It just can't happen. I mean, too often, really in every single game this series, have we started down almost double digits or close to it. I think tonight was the exception. So, or maybe game 3 was the exception. So, Brook, head to the bench. Obviously, you got to go with KPJ as a starting point guard. Gary Trent Jr. will start again just because I think he's providing more defensively, not letting guys blow by him as much as what we saw from, even Ryan Rollins and A.J. Green. And then, honestly, I'd start Jericho Sims. Why not? Why not start Jericho Sims? I don't think – Bobby has these moments, too, where he's not helping defensively. So you're really going to have to find the personnel. And then once you do that, you have to make sure you're on top of these wide-open shooters that somehow we just leave open all game, all night. Because the Pacers, I'll give them credit. Tonight they knocked every single one of them down.
They did.
Every single one of them. Like, even the ones that were looking like they were going to miss, they bounced off the top of the backboard and off the side of the rim and went in. So you just can't leave that many open shooters. You got to force more turnovers. You can't, even though I thought we were in good position sometimes tonight, you have to rebound the ball better on the defensive end because there's way too many second chance opportunities going for the Pacers. And look, I still think I think we're done, but why not? Why not Giannis go crazy and actually have some flow in the offense for once? And it'll be on Doc.
Yeah, so I think you're going to need a lot better ball rotation. And these open shooters, they're going to have to knock down the shots for us. Not to the level necessarily what Indiana did, but you're going to need double-digit points from A.J. Green. You're going to need double digits from Bobby. Double digits from Gary Trent Jr. again. And you're going to need someone else on that bench to step up. And then you're going to have to pressure Tyrese Halliburton. Tonight he did a lot of that stuff where he's able to walk down and do what he wanted to do again. I don't know what happened for the ball pressure from game 3 to game 4, but it was completely non-existent. And, I think part of the reason might have been Dame played great defense game 3. So someone else is going to have to step up and play that good defense. You need a lot of Jericho Sims stuff, just a lot of energy plays, man. And you can't fall into them of the stuff they're going to try to call you and all that other stuff. No, I don't mind them smiling, having a good time when they're beating you. But you got to stop that. And the Pacers are a very good basketball team when they're up. But when the game is tight and when it's close, I don't think they're as good as what they are, what they show. They don't have the killer instinct to fight from being down. And do I think it's over? I don't think it's over till them 48 minutes are done. He got Giannis. We got the best dude in the game. I mean, all y'all can say is done. That's cool. I think we're coming back for another show.
I would love it. A
Get
couple
out
more
the zone too. Get out that damn zone.
Zone don't
Yes.
work.
You gotta sit down and guard somebody.
A couple super chats coming in. NYC Demon says Giannis will score 20 in the first quarter and be down 10 because Brook will be falling all over the place, giving up open threes. Then Giannis will try again, and then Prince will miss him on a fast break. My point is that it's over. So NYC says it's a wrap. Reaper's Ghost with the super chat. Appreciate it. Says this is just to show love for you guys. Really love and hate Bucks fans since of just a Dame fan, but really like you guys and y'all talk. So whenever Dame retires, won't watch basketball as much. Well, you should not watch basketball when Dame retires. But again, we appreciate the love. Reaper's Ghost. Again, Leon, appreciate all the super chats that have come in today. And yeah, man, I get it. The Dame fans are one group, and Giannis fans feel like another group, and then there's Bucks fans that are all in between, and everybody has their own agendas that people are trying to get off and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you know, you try to find a way to come together and watch basketball, and I think that, you know, I think that, again, the reason this fan base as a whole has become a little more toxic because winning cures everything. When you're losing, people are upset. And to me, that just shows the passion of a fan base. When, you know, people should be upset when you're losing and you have expectations. Because outside of that, it turns into apathy. And again, you don't want it. And I tell you that there was a lot of toxicity and I've gone through it in the Panthers fan base when the Cam Newton stuff was happening. And then, I'm not joking, the last couple years, nobody's really cared. You didn't have a lot of fighting because it was like, we suck. And I'm telling you, you don't want to get to that point where nobody has any expectations. Nobody cares. You win or lose every single night. It don't really matter. And that's how it has gotten in Carolina. And that's all you got to trade Giannis. Nah. If you ask Giannis one thing, but no, man, I don't want to get to the point where the games don't matter. And, I'm always like, I don't even care to put it on because we suck so bad. I know some of y'all, some of you real Wizards fans like that. I don't. It's not fun. It's just not fun for me. But getting to the point of, how can they do it? I said, again, it's Giannis. Can Giannis go God mode? Can Giannis go in and give me 40 points, 40, 15, and 7 in Indiana? Can he do that? Can you rotate and play good defense? Do you give a damn? Do you care? Again, will you play Andre Jackson Jr.? I don't know. You might as well. Everything you got, it's all hands on deck tomorrow, Tuesday night. All hands on deck is how I would approach it. And I don't know what it's going to look like, feel like, but that's what I would do. And just see where everything falls. I do think you will see at least one more change. I do think that I don't think Brook Lopez is going to start game 5. I really don't. Did he play at all in the second half? He did. He did play a little bit.
Garbage time.
I feel like he got in one. Okay, maybe he says garbage time.
We were down like 16, 17.
Fouling and offensive fouls and people over. Big clumsy. Yeah, Brook, he could stay on the bench.
I don't think he plays, man. I really don't. I really don't think he has any significant time in game 5. And I wonder, I don't know if Kuz starts either. I don't know if he starts either. I really don't. Jerry Clayton says, "Hi, Pacers fan. I cannot believe how open our shooters are. Seems like the Bucks role players don't care about closing out. Game 3, I think, left Miles open on purpose, but Kuzma and KPJ just stand still. I think it's more than just Kuzma. I think it's a lot of people.
Tonight did it.
Yeah, it goes a lot of times.
Ben Shepherd's 3 in the corner. Giannis stood there and watched.
Yeah, and NYC says Trey is Doc. Brook will start. I really don't think he start. Just because he didn't start the second half tonight, I just don't think he's going to start. I think Giannis is going to start at the 5. I think Bobby started at the 4. I think there's a question on what Kuz does. So I think it's going to be KPJ, Gary Trent. I think there's going to be a question as whether Kuz starts. But then you'll have for sure. I don't know, Bobby and Brook. Bobby and Giannis is what I think. I don't think Brook is going to start. Reaper's Ghost says, he said, I'm from the Carolinas, so that comment hurts too with the super chat. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's been rough. But I think we getting back on track. We'll talk about that another time too. Go ahead.
Who was your quarterback after y'all got rid of Cam Newton?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, so Reapers, Ghosts, and Trey. Did y'all root for Teddy Bridgewater to lose and take a victory lap or root for Teddy Bridgewater to do bad and take a victory lap when the Panthers weren't good? Or did it suck?
Low key, I was so salty about Cam that I didn't want that. I ain't gonna lie, I was mad about Cam. I was victory lapping on Teddy Bridgewater. I ain't gonna lie. So I know what it feels. Hey, bro, I know what it's like. Ain't nothing wrong with pushing the people push agendas. But yeah, hell yeah, man. I didn't want Teddy Two Gloves to do nothing. To be honest with you, I can't remember who we had after that too. Then we had some bum after that too. Yeah, Sam Darnold. Yeah, I didn't want his ass to do nothing either. But I'm all in on Bryce Young. Let's go to the Twitter. Before we go to game balls, let's go to the Twitter. It says Midwest Baby 3 says this is before the injury. I noticed. Part of the reason why he tore his Achilles is because of the ball pressure, because he was exhausting himself, dribbling up, handling the ball, and all of his muscles in his legs. And that one play he tried to launch it gave out. So he basically is blaming. I don't know. Do you think it was the ball? I think he just came back too early. I think that's what it was. Honestly, I don't know that I can blame it on, Nimhard or anything like that. At F John Hoare says, is now a good time to bring up your original stance on the Kuzma trade? Sure. The original stance on the Kuzma trade was, again, as I've mentioned all show, Chris Milton needed to go. That was the original stance. Is that Chris Milton was cooked. So there you go. That was the original stance on the Kuzma trade. At Adrian Chavor says, at least I got to see Giannis last game in Milwaukee live in the building. Oh, man, people are saying doom and gloom. At Kevin Dornick says, thoughts are we are completely screwed for the next decade. At King James XXIV says, how do we go 3-1 this season against these dudes gave me false hope for the series. At JR Horvath says, as much as I hate to say, they may have to move him. I think they're talking about Giannis. Brutal, but I'm not sure there are any options. He won't be happy losing 60 games. 60 games. This injury was the worst possible scenario for this team. Just gutting. Always have 2021. At True Bucks Fan 78 says somebody with a lot of money in the organization made a deal with the underworld in 2021 because we've been screwed forever with injuries. At M_Juan says slow starts, no offensive adjustments, no kind of physical presence on the defensive end. This team is cooked, and I believe it's the coaching. At NYC Randy says championship windows unfortunately closed. Zero answers for the future. God hates the Bucks, and man, I don't know. 3 years, 3 first-round exits, 3 injuries. Wrap it up. I don't know. My stuff's kind of okay. My stuff. I can't get anything. I know. I would read a couple more, but I don't know what's going on my phone. So we'll stop it there. And yeah, I'm not going to answer. It's not. Again. It's the whole thing. The last thing we'll get to the game balls. It's not moving. Go again. All you had to do. It's all about context. All you had to do is remember what we were talking about. So again, if you want to say moving goalposts, nobody was ever wanted Kyle Kuzma in the first place. That's how it's happened. No, but we again, the whole point was Chris Milton was cooked. So I mean, it's not moving goalposts. I'm sick of this dude anyway. Robert Allen says it's almost like politics. Dame fans, Giannis fans, and those in the middle who just like the Bucks. Right? Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Anything else you want to get to before we go to game balls?
Nope. I don't even want to get to game balls. That's why we've been taking so long. Who's getting a game ball tonight? Golly.
Well, go ahead. Who are you giving a game ball to?
Who, me or
anybody?
them?
Who wants to do it?
Nobody. I'm with
Nobody.
Chris. I don't even have an AK. I don't even have an AK for you.
Nothing. Okay.
Justin getting us these quarter zips. It's drip right there. We all rocking them. Hopefully you guys stick with us no matter where this thing goes. No matter if Giannis is out, no matter if we lose Tuesday, no matter if we come back and we go play the Cat. Hopefully you guys stick with the CCC because we got big things coming. And Justin was a huge addition to the team this year. Hopefully we're with you guys next year and it's not a total rebuild. That would kind of suck, but we'll still be here. Show some balls. All right. You want a game ball? I'll show some balls. It's gonna go with KPJ. KPJ had my game ball if I'm a Buck standpoint. So I'm going KPJ.
My game ball. Hates for me to say, you know me. You gotta win to get in. My game ball goes to Rick Carlisle.
Oof.
Sorry. He's out coached Doc Rivers. He's put his team in the right position. And again, tonight, it's not even about. That's what I'm saying. It's not even about like any one performance. Like Siakam went 12 points, 3 boards, 4 assists tonight. Neesmith 14, Turner 23, Nembhard 20, Halliburton 17, Walker 12, Obi Toppin 13, McConnell 15. You got 8 guys in double figures. Like, it's not about. They had 36 assists tonight. 36 assists on 50 made shots. We had on 37 made shots. Well, we had 25 assists. Not bad on 37 made shots. But again, they just absolutely. They were just moving the ball, man. You can just tell they moved the ball. A lot of ball movement. I got myself at the Wisconsin says get Doc the F out of here. Trade A 608 says the championship window is officially closed. Couple more. Here, and Adrian 29482, bunch of numbers says, vote of no confidence from me. The Bucks haven't shown they can stop him from getting open threes or driving to the rim almost at will. Not to mention the Bucks offense is dead at the beginning of each game, which puts us in the holes the front running Pacers love. Last one, Kirby Don't Miss says, my soul is snatched. I have nothing left. So that's what we got. Super chat, another super chat. Reaper's Ghost says the Super Bowl game's been rigged to give Manning a retirement ring. It was helmet to helmet on cam. Well, I agree with that. I don't know about the actual Super Bowl being rigged, but that year after that was crazy. It was nasty.
I gotta say too, because Rick Hamilton said, "Did we get to the rim?" Oh, we got to the rim today. We got hacked at the rim. We didn't talk about this in the game recap. We got smoked at the rim by the Pacers tonight, and there was a lot of stuff not getting called. You just deal with the cards you're dealt with, but at the same time, I thought that kind of stopped all momentum the Bucks had going for them. I mean, there was times where I think in the second quarter, third quarter, maybe we had chances to cut it down to 8 points, 7 points, whatever it was, and guys are going to the rim and getting hammered, and we're calling the fouls on a putback, or the Halliburton one where Bobby Portis has one hand on his hip and he calls that like. That was tough. That was certainly tough. You guys know I don't blame the refs much, but I felt like that stopped a little bit of momentum or a little bit of hope that we would have had.
No, spot on. We were talking about that a little bit on Twitter, man.
Who deserves calls? What does that mean? They didn't deserve any calls. If you get to the rim and you get smoked on the arm, on the body, I mean, it's a foul. It's point blank period is basketball, but.
One of Giannis's putback dunks, he got smacked in the head, and he's an MVP, top 5 player in the league. If you want to be objective, my favorite player in the league, to think that he doesn't deserve calls. And it's not like he's out there shooting perimeter jump shots, floating and jumping and throwing his body into people and stuff like that. He's going to the basket and trying to score the ball.
I thought the calls were bad. Like I said, I mean, they were. I mean, it was not why we lost, though. That's what I'm saying. It's not why we lost.
26, but we also
yeah. But yeah, I thought the contact was crazy on Giannis. Like I said, Kuz didn't have a good game. I thought at least 2 of his drives should have been called. Now again, is he out of control? You could argue that, but I thought they were fouls, and then KPJ one definitely got hammered. But yeah, man, I thought there were a lot of calls that went uncalled. But again, it would not surprise me to see this group go down in Indiana and win. It really wouldn't surprise me to see them go down and win.
We gotta figure out some. Yes, now granted, I've been talking about KPJ, talking him up all post. We got to figure out a way to have some fluidity within the offense if you want to have any chance of winning on Tuesday. It can't just be your turn, my turn. Can't be your turn, my turn. Giannis, KPJ. It can't be that. Because we saw that all the time with Dame and Giannis throughout these 2 years, and it just hasn't really worked out all that much. There's no fluidity. Like I said, we got to figure out how to get the ball moving again.
I better be careful if Mickey's still in here. He's going to call y'all delusional saying there's any chance we're going to win. I mean, I wish I could root for games like Mickey and, I knew we were going to lose, so that's why I came in here. Oh, yeah, we lost, so I'm right about that. And then if we win, don't come in here with the damn parade and all excited when we win. Keep that loser shit over there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Keep it over there.
Justin Willis, Willie, whatever your name is. Damn celebrating that the Bucks losing in the playoffs because you write about Kuzma like that other ass clown that's in here.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got the other ass clown out. I kicked him out the club. Had to kick him out the club.
I just don't get how you root for the Bucks and celebrate another disappointing loss of arguably the best player to ever play for our franchise. I just don't get it. Maybe it's a different generation, man. Chris King, you root for the Bucks to lose?
Nope.
Okay. So Chris is a different generation. Trey, you root for the Bucks to lose?
Nah, I never root for the Bucks to lose, man. Never.
I thought
Never.
maybe because I'm an old guy.
Nah, I can't do it.
He said we're whining. I'm not necessarily whining about not getting calls. We lost by 26. I was just trying to point out something that I saw throughout the game. Somebody commented on it. I thought we got to the rim well. He just didn't get calls.
Yeah. And again, I listen, man. I think last thing I said, I think Game 5 got to be a dog fight, and one of those. I mean, let me not say a dog fight. I think it's got to be a bare knuckle brawl. That's what I think. I think you need to make game because to me the Pacers are too much. It's too much ball, pretty move, boom, ball, bad pass. Nah, I might have to knock you in your chest. I might have to knock you. I might have to take a foul on a 3-point shot. I might listen. Sorry, I might have to roll up on the ankle on a 3-point shot. Just let you know I'm there. I might you might get out of my way when you land. And again, I ain't gonna do it on purpose. I am, but I'm not gonna do it on purpose. Wink, wink, nah. But my foot might be there when you close to landing. You better get up out the way, cause I gotta show you now. I got you gonna have to feel like they gotta make guys feel them. And we're not doing that. You need to be afraid when you should make this. This has got to be. You got to turn this into a fight. You really do. End of the day, you got to turn it into a fight. TJ McConnell needs to be hammered going to the rim, just like they did KPJ. And if they call it, they call it. But you got to knock somebody upside the head, man. You have to. You have to do it. Otherwise, yeah, you might as well show up. Why show up? There's no reason. So I need somebody to give a damn if that's Bobby Portis. But yeah, no, you got to go out there ready to knock some heads out on Tuesday night and see what happens. And just see what happens. It is what it is.
Also, earn your technicals, man, because tonight we're getting
That's
technical
Tony Brothers.
Well, yeah, Tony. But here's the thing: if you're gonna give up one free throw shot, make that worth it. Make it worth it. It goes to the point what Trey's saying is, knock TJ McConnell, do all that stuff. But don't do it where you're just talking trash when you're down.
Or snatching the ball from the dude when he's laying on his back. Like, all that stuff got to stop, man. You want to send a message in the lines with the game going on, and not all the I'm with you, man. No more of that stuff, man. Like, we got to – and stop letting them bait you. Like, even if they call you a bitch, just laugh at them and dunk on them. Or hit them. Wait, hey, but you said a dog fight, a bare knuckle fight. So y'all saying we might actually see James Johnson play?
Right. Yeah, that's what you need to do.
And for the Pacers fan that's talking about, oh, he's a great fighter, we don't know that. He's an alleged black belt. I never seen him beat up anybody. I never seen him do anything in a black belt fight. Let me see him fight another black belt before I hail that dude the next Bruce Lee.
Yeah, man. I don't know what James Johnson got, man. We'll see. Like I said, but you need to make them want. You need to make him get up off the bench. That's what I'm saying. We need to see. We need to see what he has. Because that's how it goes. 129-103. That's the final. Let's look around the NBA today. Everybody gave a better fight. Talked about it. Knicks 194-93 over the Pistons. Timberwolves 116-113 over the Lakers. Celtics 107-98. Everybody talking about that foul that was not called on THJ. Tell you the truth, I didn't mind it. Honestly, I thought that was a very fun game. Chris King, hate if you want, but I thought today, especially that game and the Timberwolves Lakers game, to me, but especially going back to the Knicks Pistons game, there's no way. March Madness doesn't have nothing on it. There's just no the shot making that we saw at the end of that Knicks Pistons game. Unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns was phenomenal. The shots he put up, the threes he made, and then it gets down to scramble at the end, and they're going to come out 2-minute report, and the refs said it after the game that was a foul. But again, I listen, and by the letter of the law, maybe it was a foul. but at the end of basketball games, I don't like those calls. In the games, I like it to be decided on the court. I don't like it to be decided on the free throws. I felt the same way about the Halliburton shot at the end of the regular season, where they called the foul on Giannis. I like the games to end. The players got to decide it. And so, no, I'm not going to send you to the free throw line down 1 or down 2, whatever it was, to make 3 free throws, especially on a heave from the corner. So, again, and last day, Kay Cunningham had a 17-footer to win the game. He had a 17-footer to win. That's the shot you got to make. You're supposed to be the star of Detroit, and you bobbling the ball off your chest into the game, and you miss a 17-footer. And then you want me to be upset that you missed that there wasn't a call on the 3-point shot where TSJ tries to lean into Josh Hart? Nah. Again, letter of the law, it could be a foul all day. But nah, man, I'm good with the no call.
Yeah, the game I want to talk about is the Timberwolves Lakers. I thought that was a good game. Yeah, Trey, you talk about NBA and March Madness. I think NBA has exceeded my expectations, especially throughout the regular season. You were getting all those reports about the watchability and stuff like that about the NBA and how ratings were down. I think it's been phenomenal. But yeah, like JJ Redick playing that starting 5 for the whole second half, like unbelievable stuff. So unserious. And actually, like, are the Lakers even going to really get better from the Luka trade? Like, it's not a bad question to ask. Like, to me,
yeah,
you can do all this Nico stuff you want. Both teams are bad. Both teams have no supporting cast as of right now. So, and I'm curious to see what this means for LeBron if the Timberwolves are able to close it out, because you're thinking just like kind of the Bucks situation. The league is passing you up. The league is passing you up. The league is passing the Lakers up, potentially probably passing the Bucks up, or already has passed the Bucks up. So, interested to see what that means.
Yeah, good playoff games today, both of them. Like you said, I mean, it's going to be a lot of pressure on that. Like you said, the Lakers thing with LeBron having his podcast co-host there, coaching them. Who's going to fall on that sword now? Usually LeBron doesn't fall on the sword when things go awry. So we're going to see. But Cade has to make that bucket. Like you said, Trey, you're one of the best young up-and-coming talents in this game. And you just got to do it. And to do talking about James Johnson, like some of y'all in the chat and they're coming here afterwards, like y'all too damn literal. I wasn't verbatim speaking on James Johnson not being a black belt. No, number one, I don't care. You're on an NBA bench. You're not on if you want to be a black belt, go to the UFC ring and fight there. We're talking about basketball players here. And he's not one anymore. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
The other one the other night, man, that it was in another situation. Well, no, I guess they're not. No, they won. But they were about to be in a situation, and they got it to 2-2. But what did you think about that last play at the end of the Denver game the other night? They beat the Clippers 101-99 with Aaron Gordon. So Joker airballs a 3 to end the game, and then Aaron Gordon tip slams it in. It's 2 a.m. out here in the East Coast.
I just question sometimes the looks that Joker gets late in games. Like, I think he's a little, it's almost similar to a Giannis situation, to where if you get the ball, and I know he's hit some crazy shots doing that fall away stuff.
Yeah.
But like, that was incredibly lucky. That may have saved his, like, if you were to get first rounded by the Clippers, there would have been some talks about, okay, you just got beat by the Timberwolves last year, and then you just got beat, the next year. There would have been a lot of stuff that people would have had to say about Joker as well. And Jamal Murray went crazy in those playoffs when they won the finals anyway. But regardless, they found a way, and that's something that the Bucks haven't been able to do. Yeah. To me, it looked like he might not have gotten that off, but regardless, it happened. lucky finish and they move. I would much rather be lucky than good.
Yeah, I think it was definitely after the buzzer, man. A lot of stuff you see in basketball where you almost have to tip it and not slam dunk it, and he caught it with, I think it was like 0.2 or 0.3, something like that. It should have been, the time should have elapsed. I don't know how we have all these reviews from all these different angles, and we don't get that one right. And one thing I forgot to mention on the Timberwolves and the Lakers. When do we put Anthony Edwards in that playoff riser conversation?
Ooh. That's Ant got to be in them talks, man. Ant got to be in them talks, like for real.
Also, I want to say,
be in them talks.
He should be. I also want to say Austin Reeves is extremely overrated. I think as a player.
I think Austin Reeves is good. I wish he was in Milwaukee.
Mental lapses all throughout that game. I think might have cost the Lakers. Well, him and Luka too.
No, Luka definitely. Again, Nico Harrison's issue. Again, I get where he was going.
That's his issue.
Well, not just that, but his issue is the return was not good enough.
Yeah, he should have got more picks.
Yeah, you got to get some picks there. But I mean, I could see what he was. I could see not wanting to pay Luka the money, but yeah, you've got to give him the you gotta get more back. That's all. I can see you thinking, hey, Luka can't do it. I'm not, but you got to get more back. And again, but he will be somewhat vindicated if the Lakers do lose in the first round, which looks like they will. But yeah, you still got to get more back. Rick Hamilton saying his hands were still on the ball, not yet released. They had that angle up top where it did look like his hands got off the ball. My issue was he caught the ball with 0.2. And so if you catch the ball at 0.2, if that's a regular, if that had been an inbound and you caught it and there were 0.2 in the clock doesn't start until he touches the ball, they would have automatically waved it off. So that I didn't understand, but I mean, splitting hairs.
$12 million a year, you got to knock down that three in the corner, Austin Reeves. They pay you 12. I don't care what it is, NBA terms. You got to make that wide open three.
Todd is right. Yeah, I thought you needed 0.4. You're correct, but the clock was rolling as it had, so I don't think they took it into effect. But Todd's right. Yeah, if that had been a side out, they would have waved it off principle because I think you have to actually tip it. Is how it works. But yeah, Reeves making $12 million. Yeah, I like Reeves, man. I think he's a good player. $12 million. Yeah, you have some mental lapses, but he making 12. Kuz making 20. Shit, he better than him. Yeah, way better.
It's true. No, I also think the foul that he had on McDaniels absolutely boneheaded. I would have crashed out if the Buck did that. You're up 2 and you foul a guy who's gonna dunk on you every 10 times out of 10. Stupid play. JJ Redick sucks.
Oh, now that's another part of JJ Redick. Don't even say I'll get to that another day, but JJ Redick playing that's why they lost. Talking about mental lapse. I bet you will have mental. You gotta play. That is a dumb JJ Redick commit. I mean, that was y'all talking about Doc Rivers. JJ Redick did maybe the dumbest thing I've ever seen in the playoffs. You played 5 guys for an entire half. Are you serious? That might be literally the dumbest thing I've seen in my life. No question. LeBron didn't score in the fourth. Luka was gassed with 7 minutes to play in the game. You can do that with like 1 or 2 guys. 1 or 2 max. And I probably wouldn't even do it then. But maybe one guy, like Tuesday night elimination game, yes, I could make an argument. Giannis got to play all 24 minutes in the second half. I could make that argument. To do it in a regular in game 4, whatever it is, that was just stupid. It didn't make any sense. Of course, you're gonna be gas. They're gonna run out of gas. You can't. Like I said, it's like a 2K coach. This ain't 2K, man. You got to sub guys. Like that was dumb. So again, JJ Redick showing how stupid he is. Again, I know people think Doc Rivers not a great coach. But again, I know people think that you could just roll out of bed and coach a basketball team. You cannot. Don't happen like that. And JJ Redick is finding it out. Right.
And Steve Nash is better. Steve Nash is better than JJ.
And JJ Redick's about to remember he was talking about Doc Rivers, but 2, again, Darvin Ham took a Lakers team that didn't have Luka Doncic, to the Western Conference Finals year one, and got fired a year later. So I'm gonna have a lot of problems if people aren't talking about JJ Redick like they were Darvin Ham. I have a lot of problems.
I don't think he's going to catch the same smoke, though.
He won't. Of course he won't.
And it's comical, man. I mean, for me, it's nothing. Well, yeah, it is personal with JJ because he couldn't throw the ball in Lake Michigan when he was a Buck. But then even on top of that, all the guys that he jumped over that are legit putting in years and years of work. I look at a guy like Sam Cassell, Jared Dudley. The list goes on and on and on and on. Guys that have worked in the trenches to get that job. And I'm not saying that JJ doesn't know basketball. I'm not saying he doesn't know basketball better than me. But one of the things that these other guys been working on, these coaching staffs, learning how to draw plays, learning how to scheme defenses, learning how to get the right guys around you. And it seems like he went for the podcast to the league. Now, the good thing that JJ did do is he brought Nate McMillan and a couple experienced guys with him. But that's where Nate has to stand up and say, hey, these guys can't play 24 straight minutes. It's just crazy. It's not enough timeouts, not enough TV time. They don't even have TV timeouts. There's not enough timeouts for that, man. It's a terrible decision. And Nico probably was sipping whatever that expensive bottle of scotch he has, smiling at the TV, saying, I told you the guy was out of shape. And I don't even know if that's fair to say Luka was out of shape because 24 minutes straight, that's crazy.
Tough.
For you guys talking about how everybody else was competitive. The teams that lost, it's true, but they also didn't have a guy pop his Achilles in the first quarter. So that's true. Some context they're missing. But
that's true. That's true there. One more question. Kisadolo Idahosa says, should Ajax get some more minutes? I mean, damn. Last time we won some, he played good. Ajax minutes for Ajax game 5 here.
I mean, why not? Here's my thing. I talked all about how Ajax's offensive skills just don't fit the NBA. But at some point, you got to have somebody who can stay in front of one of their guards. At some point, you got to have that. And we're not even seeing that from the second, third. We're not seeing that from our first guys. But on the bench, you're not seeing that from anybody else. So maybe you just try Ajax. But with that, you're going to have KPJ out there. You're going to have Giannis out there. And you're going to have two more shooters. You know, it's going to have to be a Giannis at the 5 and maybe 4 guard lineup if you count Ajax as a guard.
Yeah, I mean, if we talk about sending one of those attitude adjustment files when guys are pushing you around and stuff like that, that's a guy that you know that'll get out there and he won't get pushed around and stuff like that. He'll make the hard-nosed defensive play, and I think that it's worth a shot. And you can pull him as fast as you pulled Brook tonight, and you'll be fine.
I think it's all hands on deck. I mean, I don't think I don't know. Sure, play him, see what happens. Give him a chance. I'm not mad at it. Again, Doc Rivers put in Pat contact. Listen, and again, I'm not. I think Doc Rivers' schemes are bad, so I'm not giving Doc Rivers an out here. I'm just saying we played the lineup people wanted him to play for a long stretch. It got beat too. So at some point, do you look and go, these guys ain't good enough?
I don't get why they're on my ass about just bringing up the Dame injury. I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened. You know, true. I'm not saying that's why we lost. We could have, if Dame was out there, we could have lost today, and we would have had it. But I mean, it happened. So, you know, you just deal with. I felt like we still had opportunity to even stay competitive in that game, but you guys heard if you were here the whole show, you heard my reasoning for why we didn't do that. And I did not mention Dame's injury once. I said it was on Doc Rivers. I said it was on Giannis. I said it was on all the guys who left open shooters wide open. So I'm not scapegoating anybody or whatever you're saying. Like, it's just, that's what happened. We dealt with the tough blow today.
Didn't we win game 3 with Dame in the lineup?
Yeah,
we did.
Dame went for like
a lot of attention.
He does.
He went for like 25 or 30 that game, right? That was his impact?
Nah, he definitely had 20.
No, he went for like 7 or 8. He played he played probably his worst offensive game in the playoffs.
Right.
But was because the dude's talking about, oh, well, defensively he's a lap. he was a plus 16 because of his defense.
He did play great defense. He played exceptional defense game 3.
Played good defense tonight. Yeah.
6 minutes. Chess Ready says Bucks got to draft a center and a big 3-and-D point guard. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know that I go center. You gotta have wings that are gonna guard. Man, you gotta have wings that are gonna guard. That's what I'll be looking at. Drafting a center, to me, again, I want to see what we have with. I want to see what we have with Jericho Sims. Giannis got to play some center. And like I said, I want to see what we got with the young boys. Tyler Smith, I don't know if he can play 4 or 5. I want to see. I want to develop the guy. At this point, again, even if you're talking about not a full rebuild, but like trying to retool, you gotta at some point you have to play your young players. And again, does that mean you may end up losing some games? Yes, you will lose some games, but you got to play some young guys. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see if Giannis will be a part of it. But anyway, we have one more game at least left, for sure. So we'll do that. We'll be back Tuesday night. We'll at some point have if we lose Tuesday night, it'll be a funeral, and then we'll have a wrap-up show, as we always do, to wrap up the year, which will be interesting. Maybe that'll be a show. Maybe that'll be a good time, Justin, to do. I know we talk about having like Armin and Billy on. I think that the wrap-up show might be dope to rotate a couple guests through here and just kind of talk about the Bucs season and feelings. So, man, it sucks talking about that. I'm talking about like it's over, but who knows? We come back Tuesday night and get a dub. So let's see what happens. Keep your head up, everybody. Anything else on a loss to the Indiana Pacers before we go? Just a little over 2. Chat doing a great job. Everybody locked in here after the Bucks lose 129-103 to the Indiana Pacers. As we're in the wrap up, we still got 150 some people in the chat. So I don't know what the likes are looking like, but if the likes ain't up to the people in chat, get the likes up. Sorry, but somebody said I yell too much. Oh well, I don't care.
I saw that.
Shout out to my boy. Chris. Shout out to my boy Kima Washington, Brandilli, creative group who made the quarter zips for us.
Yes, sir.
Don't have anything else tonight. Just win Tuesday. That's all you can do now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I really don't want this thing to be over. I've had such a fun time in the second year doing this Cream City crossover. So, if it is the end on Tuesday, we'll get to some of our goodbyes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, I just enjoy doing this. And you guys make this possible, and the chat makes this thing possible. And great players have came down from 3-1 before, so maybe Giannis hits a second win that we didn't know he had, and they go crazy. I don't know. That's wishful thinking at this point.
Wishful thinking.
But it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to keep this thing rolling.
Absolutely, will be fun. Moses says, good podcast, fellas. See you next game. Tom Mercer, you have to have picks to draft someone. Yeah, second round, you got to hit on whatever. NYC Demon, one more super chat. Getting it in. It says, Torian Prince. Torian Prince, black tents, Bucks, chips, Pacers and 5. Okay. That's what you had to jump in with a super chat to do that. That's messed up. Chess Ready says hit the like. So yeah, absolutely do that. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, man. Again, who knows? This is the next to last show. We will see, but we will be back on Tuesday to talk about it. Whatever happens, we're always here. And that's the thing. This is a space to come talk Milwaukee Bucks live after a game, win or lose, rain or shine. We're here. And that's what I appreciate. I appreciate you, Justin. Appreciate you, Chris King, for being here and talking with us and having this, having this dialogue and being a space for Bucks fans, agree or disagree. Again, now the I don't really engage with, but everybody else, I guess we do engage with them, but y'all are stupid. But everybody else, again, if you have a true felt belief in your heart, again, as long as you're a Bucks fan, this is a great place to come and to air those things out. And we engage with the chat. We want to talk to you all the time and have a good time. And again, because everybody has different thoughts, different opinions on how to do this thing. We'll get to the wooden nickels, Rick, in just a second. But it is what it is, and we'll be here through it, and we'll get. And you know, if you lose, you get to the draft. We'll talk about all these things as we try to finish this thing out. And once he says good night, great shows. Again, we appreciate it. Appreciate the sponsors tonight. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Lakeview Boulevard. Get out there Tuesday night. It's late start. It's gonna be an early start Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. So they trying to get us out of here early. But let's see if the Bucks have something for Indiana. So again, it'll be fun.
What time we play when we come back to Milwaukee?
What'd you say?
What time we play when we come back to Milwaukee?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to see what time on the TBD. That's gonna have an asterisk if necessary. Is what it'll have. So I don't know if they have a time set up for us because it's if necessary right now. Tish says Justin better be ready for these rants if we lose. Yeah, listen, we're gonna let you let it all out. If the Bucks lose, it's gonna be a space to do that. Let's see, man. Please, we enjoyed you. If you can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend about the Cream City Crossover. It's the best Milwaukee Bucks post-game show in all of the land. We're always here for you. This is a place for the community, for the fans to come and just talk about what's going on. Think I have anything else, man? It's been a fun one. We'll see you guys back here on Tuesday night, early Tuesday night, whatever the result may be. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trick Cosby III.
Defeated Chris King.
Justin.
If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels. Courage.